For those with good taste.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy, Lenny from For Those With Good Taste, joined again by the first mate of taste, my brother, D'Angelo, filling in for my boy, Matt, who's had to take a week or two off here for some personal stuff. Wishing him the best out there.
Shout out, Matt.
See him back on Tuesday to record again. But until then, D, we got a crazy episode planned, no?
I'm ready, dog.
I haven't told you shit about it.
Nope, all off the dome. Off the dome.
I've thought very little about this, so
yeah.
you're going to be catching some wild topics tonight.
Everything off the cuff.
Yes, sir. But let's start with some current events, D. So we have the NBA draft starting tonight. Yep. I had no idea, just found out. Nor do I.
You were like, what?
Yeah, well, and I guess the reason being is because like the Celtics don't even have a draft pick from what I can see. Yeah. So why would I care?
Sure.
But what I really wanted to talk about was a trade that just happened.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
And I just, to preface this, I want to set something up. Yeah. You have the weirdest taste in teams.
I do.
People out there don't really know this, but your fandom is all over the place.
Yeah.
And we're going to get into a couple teams tonight. But let's start with the Lakers.
Okay. Can I explain?
Yeah, if you want to.
Because I don't want people just thinking I'm like some homie front runner.
Only if you're gonna if you're only gonna be like I dick rode Kobe for like 10 years.
Yo, son, what's up with you? You're starting off
just
already
coming
wild
hot,
as
bro.
fuck. You're starting off crazy already. All right, so I'm from South Carolina, and we did not have a home team. We had the Hornets, but I mean, who the fuck wanted to be a Hornets fan?
I respect,
Yeah. And my favorite player growing up was Nick Van Exel. So Nick Van Exel, Laker fan. I mean, goes to the Lakers. You get Eddie Jones, Shaq. That was in my early fandom of the Lakers.
Yep.
Enter Kobe, 96. And
makes it a little easier. Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't good his first year. Not like he came in like a
phenom.
But
you know what I mean. Like,
and I followed him in high school. Like I was on the high school train of Kobe. Like,
where'd you go to high school again?
Lower Merion.
Okay.
Yeah, in Philly.
All right.
Yeah.
Good school.
Yeah, he's a big prep star.
It's funny, like how many NBA players were followed in high school like that? Because obviously, like LeBron, it was crazy. I was watching the music video for Forever.
Yeah,
remember the Drake song?
Yeah,
and that whole music video is just a LeBron highlight reel for more than a game. I don't know if you knew that.
Yeah,
it's kind of wild. But like, how many other people like that were followed like that? You had LeBron, Kobe, Kevin Garnett.
I mean, KG's a South Carolina person too. Yeah. Ray Allen. I mean, not the fandom. I mean, I guess you could argue. You can make a case for Ray Allen. He was in a fucking movie.
Yeah,
right at UConn. At UConn. Yeah. So, but not. I don't think to the level of that. I think Kobe might have started the trend of like, hey, we're gonna start following these high school kids that are phenoms.
And then of course LeBron caps it off.
Yeah,
being like obviously either second or third best of all time, being the last guy to come out of high school.
So. Yeah. So that started my Laker fandom.
Yeah, which I mean, like I said, I was giving you a hard time, but like I know a lot of people who are Lakers fans. We grew up in an era where like not just being a front runner, but like Kobe is a fucking badass as far as basketball is concerned. So anybody who loves ball, like I have no issue with him being like your guy. But so we got the Westbrook trade today.
Yeah.
What's your clarify me if I'm wrong. You got Kuzma, Montrezl Harrell, KCP, and a draft pick. Right? For Russ.
Yep.
How you feeling?
Raw thoughts. Does this make us better on paper? Yes. But did it solve what our biggest woe was last year? No, it didn't. We still can't shoot. We actually got worse in shooting by the trade.
So is LeBron a good GM?
LeBron is a good GM because he gets everything he wants. So the answer to that question is yes.
But like, some of the moves he makes to put people around him always just like makes me kind of question what he's doing.
I think it's a 50-50 thing because it's been times where LeBron has said, I think Cleveland LeBron was the best GM.
Okay.
Cleveland LeBron really made strategic moves to say, yo, I need this guy, make it happen. And it wasn't big name. It wasn't Russ. It wasn't a CP3. It wasn't a AD. It was, yo, put these guys around me. Let me maximize my talent. I'll get the best out of these guys. And boom, there you have it.
Do you think that has to do with age? Like, he could, when he was in his prime, he's still like, it's tough to say he's not in his prime because he's still head and shoulders above like 90%, 95%, probably even higher percentage of the league.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a little easier at like 28, 29 to be like, put a bunch of B players that are really good role players who can shoot, defend all around me. And I'll be able to, on the night that I need to, I'll come out and I'll drop 40, 10 or 40, 15 and 10 or some wild stat line like he did. Yeah. Nowadays, I think he knows, or he feels like, I don't think he necessarily has to do this, but he wants to take a load off of himself. But I just don't think Russ is the way to do it. The dude's not, what has he proven to be able to win? Like,
I mean, in the winners, like, sort of table, nothing.
It's
I
just
mean, your claim to fame is taking a Golden State team to 7.
Yeah.
You know, in the Western Conference Finals.
Exactly.
You know?
It's just kind of one of those. I look at Russ and I just don't know if he plays a winning style of basketball in terms of if you talk about the energy that he brings every single night.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you win with him being one of your best players on your team.
I don't. He's third. That's where I would like him to be.
Yeah.
I would like him to be third.
But he's not like it's the same issue I have with the Celtics, right?
Yeah.
Like, what happened to the day? Like, if your point guard is one of your best players, I think your best way to have him be that is to be a ball distributor. Like there's just not enough.
If Russ goes out and gives us 15, 12, and 12, great stat line for my team.
12 assists, but his assists aren't necessarily like. I mean, there's stat stuff and assists, no?
I don't give a shit.
You know, I just look at, like, even the way James Harden kind of adapted his game a little bit with Brooklyn and kind of turned into a little bit more. He was always a good passer, but taking a little step back in terms of the scoring role.
Fam, it matters who's around you, though, Lenny. I mean, sure, I can pass, but if I'm passing the fucking Kwame Brown, my passes might not look as good. My assists might not look as good.
That's fine. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm on Brooklyn. I got 2 perennial all-stars right beside me. Yeah, I can get you 12 assists a game now because you can't key on me.
Fair.
So, sure.
Hot take.
Love it.
The Lakers have the lowest 3-point shooting percentage in the NBA this upcoming league season.
Bottom 5.
It's gonna be bad, right?
Bottom 5.
It's gotta be
bottom
bad. 5. I just wonder again, can you win in the NBA a championship? You can get to a certain level with having LeBron and AD on your team. Don't get me wrong. They're always going to be in the discussion. They're going to come into next season as the team that is expected to make the finals, right?
Yeah.
So I have no issue with that. I just question in modern day NBA, like, can you get by having a team that doesn't have the ability to hit threes?
I mean, for whatever it's worth, argumentative or not, they won a championship in the bubble with that same three-point shooting team.
Yeah.
You know, so can it be done? Sure.
The bubble wasn't real, though.
I agree. As a Laker fan, I'll take the chip, but I think the sentiment around the league. You know, I keep my ear to the streets.
Yeah, okay.
I know a couple players.
Yeah.
Right?
You've been chatting it up.
Yeah, I mean, I know a couple folks.
Putting some feelers out there.
I know a couple folks.
Got you.
The NBA circles, right? Sources say they really don't respect that bubble chip.
No, I don't think
they
anybody
don't respect
does,
that bubble
right?
chip. You saw Jay Crowder telling LeBron that though this year, like, yo, y'all was a fluke.
So the problem is in the history books, it's LeBron's got another chip,
right? Again, like I said,
on paper, it's what it is. But
I'm just telling you I agree.
I mean, you take away the one big element that I think affects all sports like playoff games, especially not just basketball, and that's the crowd in an away game.
The pressure, dog,
is wild.
It's
like
zero pressure
in the NBA, especially. You put a young player, say like Ja Morant, just for a person to pop up off the top of my head, a few years into the league, making a little bit of playoff noise this year, right?
Yeah.
You put him in an away stadium, an away arena, and I just don't know if he can step up the same way. It's just a noticeable drop off.
You had Warren putting up 50 balls.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, no, shout out Warren.
Yeah.
Shout out TJ Warren.
Yeah.
No disrespect.
But I mean, the year before, he's a guy who first half of the year was going off, and then I remember I had him on my fantasy team.
Oh, okay.
The whole second half of the year, he didn't do shit. So yeah, you see him in the bubble, and it's like you're a superstar.
Again, man, I think it's something to be said for the bubble. That's all. I don't. However you want to dissect it, and right, wrong, and different, whatever.
You ever seen the movie? You ever seen the movie Bubble Boy?
No.
Jake Gyllenhaal. It's like
Is that when the boy was like his parents were scared he was gonna get sick or something?
well,
or
so he
germs or
had
some
yeah,
shit?
like they told him he had like a disease that made him like hypersensitive to everything, and he could
yeah.
like get sick.
I remember, but
It's just the same thing, right? Like
Yeah.
you put a bubble around somebody to make them feel safe, make them feel like coddled, and like
I mean,
you know that's what
I
we
didn't
did.
know if you know, but there was this wild thing going on around last year. It's called a COVID.
Yeah,
So
yeah. You
the
gotta-
bubble made sense.
No, I get
to
it.
make
You felt-
people feel safe
Yeah,
and
yeah.
coddled.
No, I yes. It made them feel safe from the disease, but they also felt safe from all those fans shitting on them. And you didn't have to worry about what, like Russ didn't have to have a water bottle thrown at him.
Yeah.
No crazy
Speaking
shit.
of, listen, I know we don't have a topic list, but when you said that, it made me think of something. I really want to ask your opinion. I know
Okay.
you're the TV movie guy.
Yeah, shoot.
I am really hyped for something, Lenny.
Okay.
Malice in the Palace documentary.
Oh shit! I didn't. Are they
What?
doing? Is that a? 30,
You don't know about this?
Is that a 30 for 30 or?
I get to put you on. So there's a Malice in the Palace documentary coming out on Netflix.
Okay.
And they're interviewing everybody who it was about.
Meta? Meta's gonna be in there.
Of course, it's not. I don't want to see if Meta's not in
Yeah,
it.
he
dog.
needs a paycheck too. I'm
Bro,
sure.
so once I saw this was coming out, they've been interviewing everybody on ESPN. They've had Stacks on there.
Mhm.
They've had Meta.
Yeah.
Those are the two that I've seen. I saw Jermaine O'Neal. Shout out Jermaine O'Neal from South Carolina. That's my guy. He lives down the street. Shout out
Played
Jermaine
for the
O'Neal.
Celtics for one season.
Yep, he's from Eau Claire High School. Shout him out. Right down the street from me. Earl Wood on the game.
Mhm. We have a lot of fans down there, so
Yeah, well, yeah, because of me. You're
Okay.
welcome.
Yeah, we got the rub.
Yeah,
Thanks,
you're
man.
fucking welcome,
Yeah.
bro. But yeah, they were interviewing everybody. I am so hyped for this, bro. So hyped for this. Before you go, I want to add another tidbit in for you. Craziest shit in the world. Meta World Peace is friends with the guy who threw the beer on him now.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, when you change your name to Meta World Peace, you got to go make right with some people. So,
Fam, you can't throw a beer on me and think we all good after
I
this.
mean, he clearly was like, "Now we're cool, bro."
I
who
put you
won?
in your face.
Who won? You know, like that's what I'm saying. I was literally what I was going to interject with was like, "This ain't real if you don't get me some of the people who were in the crowd that night."
I don't
Like,
know. I don't know. They've done very little like
They're filming it now. Then I
No,
guess,
it's about
or
to drop.
It's about to come out.
it's about to come out. It's on
Shit.
Netflix.
Okay,
It's about
okay,
to come
okay.
out.
I gotta keep.
I don't
my
know
eye
if it's 30 for 30 styled, but I definitely would like to see, what if I told you a beer led to 85 games suspended?
Oh, like it just changed the NBA on its fucking head, bro.
Yeah,
Like, one of
yeah.
the wildest scenes that I'll ever we'll never see anything like that ever again, right? Like, cause you just
You know what? It's hard for me to say because I think it's almost like revisionist history in a sense because we've seen it recently. Right after fans were allowed in stadiums, they started throwing shit, saying all type of wild shit. Like,
see.
all it takes, I think it takes
agree.
one. It takes one.
I agree that the fights in the crowd have been nuts. So like the baseball game ones, especially with nobody in the stands, you just see people getting knocked the fuck out. But I don't know if we'll ever see a time again where players will be able to get in the stands. Because, dude, like, there's always been money in this. But do you want to see your max player go break his hand, snuffing some dude in the face? I just don't think that.
Do I want to see my max player?
Yeah, no. Okay, yeah, but then think about what happened to Chris Paul in the playoffs, right? He gets pushed by Pat Bev, right? And dude, who the fuck was it? White boy on the side there, Frank Kaminsky, right?
Yeah.
He just watched that shit go down. This dude played 2 minutes of the whole playoffs. That's your moment to snuff Pat Bev, right?
It is.
Get him the fuck out of there.
It
So I
is.
just don't think that when the time comes, Frank Kaminsky is gonna jump in there because Russ is heated.
Well,
Well,
let it be said for something. Terrible example because you said Frank Kaminsky.
yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
is
but
this,
I mean,
is this a family show?
okay, but like,
Is this a family
no,
show?
you can say what the fuck you
Frank
want.
Kaminsky's pussy. Like, let's just keep it real.
Yeah.
Like, he's pussy. Now, keep that same energy with Steven Jackson, Meta World Peace, and Jermaine O'Neal.
Well, this is what I'm talking about. I just don't think there's real people you see fights in the NBA every fucking day, right? Like these dudes
Kinda.
pushing each other because none of
Yeah.
them want to fight, bro.
What, do you think Pat Bev wouldn't go in the stands?
No, Pat Bev's a rare breed.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
And
You
I
had 3 dogs on the same team.
And Pat Bev is going to be letting that guy get walked out by the security. He's going to come sneak him, bro.
No, Pat Bev is going
Yeah,
in
I
the
don't know.
stands.
That was a clown move the way he pushed Chris Paul.
It was.
It was-
No.
that was
Don't
a
get it
bad
twisted.
one.
I definitely think it's a clown move. I'm just letting you know. of the breed of player that I think is going in the stands, Pat Bev is on that list.
Like I think Trez, like Montrezl
Trez is going in the stands.
There's definitely
Trez
guys,
is going in the
but
stands.
there's also equally as many dudes. Like I think for the Celtics, like Marcus Smart, pretty sure that dude's going in the stands.
He might go in the stands. He might go in the stands. For a lot of, and I know a lot of people know him, but I think he'd be selling wolf tickets.
Okay.
I think it's like I don't know if I believe he's in the stands. I don't know if I believe he's in the stands.
I mean, he snuffed that glass pane on that window when he was really upset after missing a game-winning shot.
Whoa, glass pane. Got him there.
So I think the real winner in this trade, though, it's got to be the Wizards, right? Like I look at, if they lose Beal,
I was just about to say it's contingent upon keeping Beal.
If they lose Beal, they're definitely still in a rebuilding stage. But I do think that in terms of building a foundation for your team to maybe make some strides towards being competitive again, this is the kind of move that can do it. Yeah. Trez has obviously been for 4 or 5 years now the best role player in the league, maybe. Best 6-man out there. So that's a huge contribution. They lack it big, right? Yeah. KCP is very hit or miss, and Kuzma maybe going into a little less limelight and getting more of the focus because he had that great year, but he had to really step back in his role in the past couple years with AD finally getting there. So maybe we see some stuff change up. I don't know.
I don't believe it, but sure.
Yeah,
I don't believe it at all.
You're not confident?
No.
I mean, it's the Wizards, so unless
you got all the shine to do whatever you want to do now. Make me a believer because I don't believe it.
You think Beal's out?
I think he's thinking hard about it. It depends on where he wants to go. Not where he wants to go, because I think the organization probably has the control over that. But I don't know now. Without a Russ, he's back to not having another certified superstar beside him.
But who do you move to make that, like, the Celtics obviously have been one of the biggest names rumored out there. And JB and Marcus Smart keep coming up in the deal. I'm cool with Marcus Smart being moved. I just can't envision moving JB for Beal being like a little older, not too much different of a talent level at this point to me. Obviously, like we need to see JB do it for one more season, I think, to really solidify that. I understand that, but I just think on paper there's more upside left in what Jaylen Brown has shown.
I think that's a lateral trade.
Yeah, like unless you're trying to appease Jason Tatum because that's his boy, they grew up together, like they're in neighbors or whatever, went to school together, like all that shit that just shouldn't really matter. But in the AAU version of NBA that we watch now, it does kind of matter a little bit. I just don't know where you really move him that's gonna make sense,
Not the Celtics.
No,
like the Celtics.
Maybe
the Hawks.
I was gonna say like Toronto.
Ugh.
Because they're talking Lowry's probably out
for sure,
right? So
I thought Lowry was to the Lakers.
Yeah,
I thought Lowry was to the Lakers.
See, I had seen
DeRozan to the Lakers too.
Yeah, he kind of wants that.
He wants that. Now, see. Speaking and keeping it where we was on the terrible shooting team, give us DeRozan. Yeah, give us DeRozan too.
The 2-point king, dude.
Fuck it.
Yeah, elbow jumpers all day long.
Let's clog up the paint, bro.
Yeah,
fuck it.
I mean, he's big for it too, so like it's not a terrible. I like DeRozan, so
I like DeRozan too. You know what? I ain't gonna lie. I like that team on paper.
Yeah, if your starting 5 includes, I mean, on paper, of course, you put LeBron, AD, Westbrook, and DeRozan out there as 4 of your starting 5. I mean, you could put anybody you want at either the 4 or the 5 for that lineup, and you're cool, right?
I don't care.
So I agree, but I don't know. I think I had seen Lowry possibly to the Sixers.
Yeah, I mean, that's where he started, right?
I think that makes sense. I saw Sixers or the Heat.
I like the Heat better.
But then I saw the Heat were involved in maybe Ben Simmons, which I can't understand. I can't see my dude, Jimmy Butler really wanting to play with.
He gonna kill that little I won't say kid no more. He
already had an issue playing with Ben and Embiid. I don't know if his issue is more with Embiid, but like if his issues are people who don't want to practice, right?
His issue is people who aren't dogs.
Yeah, who aren't serious about their shit.
Yeah.
And Ben Simmons clearly is not that serious about his shit.
Jimmy's going in the stands.
Yes.
Yeah, Jimmy's going in the stands.
And Jimmy will go in the stands if you just told him he didn't ball good that night. Like Jimmy.
Yeah.
If you told Jimmy he lost a 1-on-1, he's just gonna come in the stands.
I like that.
Yeah, he's all time.
In first team in the stands. Jimmy Butler's there.
We're gonna do a top 5 one day, D. That's just like top 5 most likely NBA players to go in the stands. Yeah.
First team all in the stands.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. Yeah. First team all in the stands. Second team all in the stands. We'll just do a little breakdown.
Yeah.
It's like the all defensive team, except for defending against the fans.
Yeah. Well, I'm letting you know right now. Jimmy Butler's my number one.
He's first one up the wall.
He's in the stands.
We'll do it like a draft.
Yeah.
You get first pick, Jimmy Butler.
For sure.
He's in there.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was a wild trade. Obviously, like this is the time where it starts to heat up. I think the NBA is one of my favorite leagues as far as just like, NFL. You don't get moves. You don't get a lot of trades. Like the NBA is where you get like big movement happen. Obviously, the players have so much more control. So the offseason sometimes to me is the most exciting stuff about the NBA.
Yeah.
So this is another great year for them. The buzz is going to keep growing. But going back to your crazy fandom, like all over the place.
Let's do it.
Let's move on to Green Bay.
For sure.
You're rocking the green. So explain. Let's start there. Why the fuck are you a Green Bay fan?
This one's a little bit more personal.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm a Green Bay fan because I always forget. I'm bad with like parental names, like family names. My grandmother's brother.
It's great uncle. Great uncle.
I'm terrible with those. My great uncle. When the Packers played the Patriots in the playoffs, he sent my nana some
This is
merch.
1996, I think.
Yes. Yeah. Wow, 96 is a good year. Another game. He sent my nana some merch from the game, and my nana doesn't give a shit about football, so she gave it to me.
Yeah.
And ever since I was like, oh my god, I love the Packers.
So it was really like you didn't have another football team, and then all of a sudden you had some merch, and it was like,
it was.
All right, it's my squad.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. 9-year-old kid got a Super Bowl. I wish I still had that shirt. Golly. But a Super Bowl.
You don't know where it went?
In my nana's house, it's like a hoarding maze in there. It's someplace.
All grandparents' houses, bro.
It's
like,
someplace. I mean, but if I haven't seen it in 25 years, so I don't know where it is.
You probably still fit into it though.
Oh wow, relax. It was an extra large back then though. So
Shit, so you probably grew it.
Yeah, it's probably fit for real.
That shit would probably be like kind of hot right now. Like as far as like people love vintage shit, man.
Yeah.
Walking around in that probably be good.
I mean, again, if I could see it, I haven't laid eyes on it in 25 years. I don't know where it is. I would definitely still wear it. It probably smells like mothballs and shit, but I'll wash it.
The shitty thing is you basically, I mean, you've been fortunate because you have a team that's always had a great QB, but you really got in at the best moments to be a fan of Green Bay, and it's been pretty trash since then, though.
Relax.
Getting back to where we are current day. Aaron Rodgers ethered the Packers organization yesterday.
Fuck Jersey.
Yeah, like
it came on and dropped.
This man wrote down like 25 names. He's like, you did this man wrong. You did this man wrong.
Kill this. I fucking loved it.
Yeah. And I feel him, man. Like, I do think that he looks like the most depressed person in the world. Like
new look Aaron, you don't like him?
Yeah, he just looks sad, bro. Like
he don't want to be there.
No, he looks like life's been drained.
That hurts me as a legitimate Packer fan. That hurts me that he don't want to be there. Whatever the fuck concessions they were on paper to me didn't look like much.
Well, you can sense like the name that stuck out to me, right? When I first started really, from an outside perspective, realizing how shady some of the shit they've been doing there is like the Jordy Nelson move.
Hurt. You remember we was at work and we talked about this?
Vaguely. I do remember like kind of when it happened, right? And I guess in some ways Green Bay can be like, well, look at what Jordy did after he left.
Same thing Randall Cobb. Same thing Clay Matthews.
Yeah, like they end up looking okay because these guys leave and they don't necessarily perform the same way because Aaron Rodgers isn't throwing them the ball anymore. They're not as healthy. They're not as young, whatever it is.
Sure.
But Jordy Nelson and Aaron Rodgers just seemed to me, and Randall Cobb for that matter, like they had a connection. Like there was some type of special bond and connection there. And you almost have to keep people like that. It's like Tom Brady when Deion Branch leaves and you end up bringing him back years later. And it's because of having to make concessions to a guy and give him somebody that he's comfortable with.
At bare minimum, bro, like we can say what we want. You cannot like the guy, whatever the fuck, however you want to do it, man. But he's earned the fact to sit at the table and at least hear him out.
Yeah.
Like the man is 37.
Yeah, you're. I think 38 is actually where he's at. Yeah, 38? But I might be wrong.
An MVP of the league last year.
Yeah.
Like, fam, you gotta listen to him. You have to at least take his opinion into account.
Do you? So I brought up Tom Brady, and it's
Yeah.
just like so. The two best quarterbacks in the past, outside of maybe Peyton Manning, would be the other name that would come up, right? Peyton Manning had a level of control that the other two never really were afforded.
Always.
Yeah, and
Let that be known.
I
Big
just,
time.
I
Always.
wonder what that is. Like, is it a matter of, because at least the Patriots have more of a built-in excuse. Obviously, like, Belichick has his own level of regard that he's held to, right? The Packers have never had that coach. So that's where I find it harder to believe that they don't want to have Aaron Rodgers be more in control or more involved in that kind of thing. Because I could see where Bill has like a little bit more of a chip on his shoulder, a little bit more of that, an entitlement, I guess. But I don't understand Green Bay outside of a money thing, not being willing to pay for stuff.
Again, me and you talked about this before too. Like I've told you, like I think our defense has always been subpar to shitty.
Mm-hmm.
We don't spend money on free agents. We just don't. We farm everybody, which, you know, if you look, depending on which way you want to look at it, great, because our team's farming people, we look good. You draft, you stay with us, we get you to where you need to be. Awesome. But at the same time, it's always some crucial play in the playoffs where our defense gives up something crazy. King got his ass torched by Tom Brady last year.
Yeah.
In the NFC championship game. Like, those sort of things we just can't. We gotta go get a big name. If it's somebody big name out there, we need them.
You do, and you especially need to do it when the reality is now that like you are gonna have to go through Tom Brady to make it to the Super Bowl,
Which does not scare me.
all right. Regardless, like
For sure.
however you feel about that.
For
like,
sure.
I mean, I think it probably should, but like just based on track record.
Hey my guy. Listen, last year he mopped. What's my boy name? Mahomie. He mopped Mahomie in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
The Packers put up a much better game.
I don't. They still lost though.
No
is
doubt.
my
It's a
point.
L. It's a L.
My point is that you have to go through a guy
Yeah.
who, no matter what, is always going to be in it. I don't mean
I
that
like
he's going to
it.
dominate
Yeah.
it all the time, but I just
Yeah.
think, to your point, you need to address something on defense, and there's nobody who's going to stop the, like, maybe not the most gifted physically, but Tom Brady's probably the smartest quarterback alive today, right?
I'm
So
rolling.
he's going to find a way to get the ball, especially with the playmakers that, like, because when you look at it, you look at what the Bucks have done.
Bring
for him,
everybody
you
back,
know,
dog.
just give him all the tools, right? So there's no excuses. He what does he do? He has no excuses. He goes and gets
He
it
gets a
done.
chip.
So
Yeah.
that's where it's like you look at a team like Green Bay and it's like, bro, if you have only won once with the most talented quarterback in football on your team for 15 years of those, you should sell the fuck out. Especially if this is your last season having him. How are you not selling out for him? Because they still don't have anything. Like, I don't know what they have on offense. Like, Randall Cobb's your best receiver. Like, I mean, Devontae's there, but they're fucking him over. Like, they don't want to pay him either. So
I think Devontae is depending on what Rodgers does.
Yeah.
I think that's the smart move on him. I'm not resigning. Why would I do that?
The Last Dance post was stupid, though. We agree, right?
Who did that?
Both of them did. I think Devontae might have posted it, but they posted like a picture saying The Last Dance.
Green Bay?
Well, like Devontae said it, like
Oh.
like as if like it's their last dance in Green Bay,
Yeah.
but it's like that infers that you've won something. So like, what's the last dance? Like,
It doesn't.
I mean, the last
guess
dance.
it does.
The last dance is about a man who won 6 rings, bro.
True.
It like don't harken back to like you could say the last hurrah, right? But when you say the last dance, there's only one man in the NFL that could be saying like,
This is
hey,
the last
like
dance.
like if Gronk and him were like, this is the last dance, I'd be like, all right, I get it. I fuck with it. Gronk's got 3 or 4, right? Brady's got 7. Like that makes some sense to me. But a guy, there's one championship shared between the two of you, and you weren't even on the team together. So what's the last dance?
Okay.
You ain't won shit.
Okay.
You know.
Yeah, I get it. That's fair.
So you want to move on to a little bit more of a controversial sports topic, D?
I love controversy. Give it to me. What
You
up?
following the Olympics at all?
Sure.
Me neither.
I don't know. I didn't want to come off as unpatriotic and
No,
shit.
I ain't watching shit, bro.
All right.
First of all, I don't have cable like that, so I guess I could watch it on Peacock, but I just won't. But obviously, we all know about the Simone Biles stuff. Where's your head at on that?
Shout out to that young black queen.
Mm-hmm.
I think mental health is very important. I love that us as black people and then people in general in today's world are taking mental health more serious. Fuck gold medal. Fuck a Wimbledon. Fuck all that. Like, you know, I don't need y'all. Y'all need me. You
Mm-hmm.
know, all of that type of energy. I'm with it.
So did you see? I think this is the biggest issue with the way some of the message has been communicated. Because you see that like the main reason isn't even mental health necessarily. Have you heard the term the twisties yet?
No, what's that?
Okay. So this is what's not really like if you read into what's going on, this is what's actually going on. The first thing they talked about was mental health, and it has something to do with it, right? But basically the twisties is something that gymnasts get. It's kind of like it's an issue with the like your brain in a way, so it's like vertigo in a way from like constantly flipping and spinning, but it also has to do with your confidence in some ways. So you already have like an imbalance in your brain, but then you're also dealing with the mental issue of like when they say the twisties, it means basically you'll mentally not realize it, but you'll rotate extra on your spins and like stuff like that, which for a person like her is extremely dangerous because if she over rotates the wrong way, she could land and break a bone, break her neck, whatever the fuck it is, right?
Yeah.
And that's why if you watch what she's done in a little bit of the Olympics now, she's been off balance with some of her landings and stuff. So it's basically a combination of like vertigo and the yips is the way it's been described to me. So it's like a little bit of a mental issue where like you're nervous and you're scared, so you're not able to fully commit to what's going on. So they report it mental issues, but it is partially like a physical thing that she's dealing with too, and there is some injury there. And I guess a lot of like gymnasts and stuff are like, no. Once they explained that, they were like, no, you definitely can't compete if that's what's going on. Furthermore, like the woman is like none of us know anything about gymnastics.
No,
like who the fuck are we to judge somebody? Like we actually care about gymnastics. Like people are like talking about this girl. Like a week from now, they were gonna give a fuck about the Olympics, like gold medal she won in gymnastics.
Right.
Like we weren't gonna follow outside of this, and everybody wants to have a commentary on it, and so that's an issue in itself.
Yeah.
I just and then you see other athletes getting on her about it, and I do understand the like you don't quit on your team, but this is the same chick who the only reason she is still involved to the level that she is because she's the last person still there from that dude who was diddling all those little fucking girls. Yeah. Like, so she's still there trying to put a spotlight.
What sick athletes are saying saying about the situation, you don't quit on your team and all this other shit. Fam, she's the most decorated Olympic athlete.
Yeah, she's given more like
what the fuck is wrong with y'all? Like, are you serious right now, dog? Like,
and furthermore, it's basically like it's the stuff she's dropping out of. Some of it's individual.
Yeah, like so you sound like a clown. Yeah, you look like a clown. Shut the fuck up forever, bro.
Listen, like there's only I guess any level athlete at that level, like LeBron has committed his life from the age of 8 till now on being what he is. So, but it's a different level for these Olympic athletes, right? Yeah. Because don't get it confused here. Like they're not making the money that we're seeing professional athletes that are commentating on this make. Like if you're in the NBA, you make more in 1 year than most of those Olympic athletes, unless like, you know, Simone Biles is maybe the exception, like Michael Phelps, those guys, because they're sponsored and they have like these other deals going on.
Box.
But it's still not that crazy, you know, like you don't get paid a lot to be in the Olympics. So it's like, who are you to really fucking commentate on this girl when she's really from the age of 16 till 24 or 28, whatever she has now been an Olympic athlete. Yeah. That's insane. You know, to like be asked, have that pressure, the pressure of a country, not the pressure of a state or a city. She's had the pressure of a country on her fucking shoulders since she was 16 years old. And she's known she was going to have that pressure since she was like 10, right? Yeah. So like, how are we going to really get on this girl? Because finally, like it kind of all mounts to her and she's like, I can't do this right now.
I again, like I started with, that energy is kept the same for me. Shout out to that young queen for saying, fuck y'all, I need to take care of me. Yeah. I love it. Speaking of that though, Lynn, small segue. Just keeping it on the Olympics though. You are known to toke. You're known to take a little hit
every once in a while. Yeah.
Every once you partake in a little recreational usage.
Mm-hmm.
Medicinal.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. I like that. Yeah. It's legal in Mass. So I've heard.
Medicinal.
Though. Yeah. Are you familiar with the Sha'Carri Richardson situation?
She's the one who popped right before the Olympics, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see that? I forget her name, so don't kill me if y'all see it in the comment section or whatever. Sue Bird's wife, Megan Rapone.
Raposi or something. I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
So THC and CBD are two different things, but they started like a CBD usage. There was some like big article that they put out about how she was on the front, like on pretty much like the front line for saying CBD usage in Olympic athletes.
Mm-hmm.
And
which, if you're not letting people use CBD at this point, it's kind of crazy.
I thought it was a complete slap in the face to
Yeah.
Sha'Carri Richardson at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Olympic Committee kept her out for, marijuana usage, and then you put out a whole like article about having two white women on the front saying, "Hey, Olympic athletes are using CBD, and it's helping us win."
There is a completely. Again, I don't think that marijuana should be illegal at all in general.
If I'm running a race.
Yes. Like it's the same thing with like MMA, right? So Nick Diaz is about to make his comeback in September. First time he's fought since he fought Anderson Silva like 6 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Or at this point 5. He took a 5-year suspension because they suspended him for fucking weed, right? And it was his like third time being popped for that.
Mm-hmm.
That you were claiming. Same thing with running, that these are performance-enhancing drugs. This thing that'll slow you down and make you want to be on your couch all day.
It is a downer, not a upper.
It's crazy. So they say with like MMA that it makes it so you don't feel pain. So it makes it so you have a higher tolerance to pain, and that's why it's not that's why it's a performance enhancer.
They must be never smoked and like stub their toe or like
exactly
feel like hurt, bro.
Yeah.
What?
No, it hurts longer, bro.
Yeah. You wake up like, damn, this just still hurt.
I'm like focusing on it. Yeah. So it's the same shit, man. It's like, how are you going to tell me, bro, if you put me on the starting line of a race after I just smoked a blunt, I'm going to be sitting there like, what the fuck am I doing here right now? Listen, what was that noise? And it's like the gun just went off.
I've played, I'm a hooper. I play with many people who have smoked before games.
Mm-hmm.
And I've seen both sides of the fence. I've seen I've seen a couple play like shit. I've seen a couple like go off, and always is like, yo, bro, I just smoked before the game. Like it helps me focus. Like it helps me like get my mind right, sort of thing. Like
I do get where you can like, and I'm probably in this on a much smaller scale, but you grow the tolerance, you become a functional high. I get that, right? Like I could be high every single day, and you wouldn't know the difference really unless I let you know the difference,
not me.
Right? So, and that's where it is. But again, I just don't see where like. It just doesn't make sense to me to make it illegal. But I do think like the CBD thing is completely different. CBD is something that's being sponsored. Now they're paying a ton of money to athletes to sponsor them. So there's a lot of where the dollars speak, like you're going to get people involved. So I do understand that part of it too. But we're always going to have that double standard, right?
I guess.
Unfortunately.
I
it
guess.
shouldn't be so definitive, but I just feel like until I see otherwise,
right,
I'm always going to be looking at there being a double standard. And that's where I'll get to one other thing with the Olympics, because there's obviously a lot going on with that. Yeah. And it's a double standard another way. Did you see the thing about I want to say it's like the women's, it might have been volleyball. It's a sport like that, something like that. And
shout out to all the women out there.
There's a team picture, right?
Yeah. And
the guys are all wearing like long, like short sleeve shirts, like t-shirts, and they're wearing like shorts for their like dressed apparel to wear in the games. And the women's team is in the picture with them, and the women are all wearing like spaghetti string like tank tops and fucking like bathing suit bottoms. And it's like how, and they made a big deal because it's like it is a complete double standard. It's like, so the women and of course like I have no way, like I'm cool with seeing the volleyball players in their in their like swim trunks, but it is a little wild to be like these guys are fully covered head to toe, no issue, but then the women have to play in underwear basically. It's a little crazy.
Right.
And that's where I say that, like, especially in an institution like the Olympics, that you're still running on rules from like 1920 that are written into this shit. It's the same problem with like fucking gun laws in the world. It's like, how are you going to write stuff in the 1900s and expect them to be the same rules in 2020?
Right.
It's the same shit here where it's like, weed was
we're such a more progressive nation right now that we're still like half of the states are, legalizing or on the way to legalizing marijuana.
So
And
I'm
then-
going to Tennessee.
even though the Olympics are
global,
exactly,
which
so,
is even harder. That's even harder,
for
right?
sure, for sure.
But
You take your ass to one of them countries and it's banned. You're gonna be in jail for a long time.
So I'm going to Tennessee,
Yeah.
next week, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And I, of course, did my due diligence, and I did a quick Google of like what's the marijuana laws in Tennessee.
Yeah.
What do you think they are?
Deep southern conservative state. I would imagine that it is not good, my friend.
It is still illegal.
Yeah.
They have limited exemptions for medical use. Like, so even if a motherfucker has cancer, they might not be allowed to use it.
Shocker.
Like, so it's basically like I'm reverting, by going to Tennessee, you're reverting back 10 years in terms of progression. So to your point, like dealing with a global entity, like try going to China for the Olympics. See what they really let you get off.
Throw some trash
You
on the
know?
ground in China. See what
Yeah,
happens to
exactly.
you. Jaywalk in China. See what happens. Bro, they're not fucking around.
It's wild.
They're not fucking around. Speaking of drugs, like, this is something that I saw recently on Black Twitter. Shout out Black Twitter. You remember that commercial, like when we were kids, and it was like, "Don't do drugs." It was the girl who was smoking marijuana with her friend on the couch, and she looked like a little like couch potato.
She falls under the couch or some shit like
Yeah,
that.
like she like melts into the couch.
Mhm.
We saw that commercial as kids, and we still went out and smoked. Like, oh shit, I'm gonna melt into the couch.
Bro, I'm to the point now where I see a motherfucker wearing a Dare shirt, and I'm like, yo, that's a dope shirt.
Me too. No, me too.
I'm
looking for the Dare
I've been thinking
shirts.
about buying a Dare shirt, bro.
As I light up, like, shout out
exactly.
there.
That did nothing for me. I remember these motherfuckers gave me like an engraved brick for
Yeah.
graduating Dare
Yeah.
class. Like, what the
Fam,
fuck was
you know
that going to
what,
get me
man?
to do?
It was a resource officer and a police officer who I'd never seen talking to me about Dare. Like, if you don't get the fuck out my face, Officer Smiley, like, shut
Bro,
up.
they fired my health teacher in like 3rd grade because he taught health class and then immediately went outside to smoke a cigarette.
That's dope.
Like,
Fuck them kids.
like, the whole thing's hypocrisy, though, is my point,
fuck
right?
them
Like, so
kids,
it's
man.
like, that's why we all smoked weed, because it was like, we realized that the bullshit they were telling us, like,
You know what? Once I saw the commercial and then I realized I wasn't gonna melt into the couch, I'm like, all right, y'all lying. Like,
Mhm.
this ain't that bad.
yeah,
Like,
once you saw
know?
that first dude, like, light up in front of you and you're like, oh, you didn't become one with the ground?
Yeah. Y'all did too much. Y'all did too much.
Yeah, exactly. You forced it.
Yeah.
You tried a little too hard on
Yeah.
scaring me straight, and it didn't work.
It didn't work.
I
now
saw
I think everything else that you say from this point on is bullshit. I gotta find out on my own now.
I saw something today, and they were talking about how, you know, how like they do scared straight with like people going to jail to try and get you out of jail, right?
Yeah.
Like not going to jail.
Yeah.
They need to do the same shit with like pregnancy, with all this stuff. They got to find some way to get you.
I like Scared Straight.
Yeah,
I like that. That was one of my
well, like
shows.
you enjoyed. Oh, okay. I was like, you enjoyed going to like
No,
the.
no. I went to a prison before, like, and not be locked up, like
No.
as a tour.
So they tried getting me to
yeah.
do that. I took a criminal justice class in like 10th grade.
That was my
and
major.
they tried getting me to go to a jail, and I was like, to be completely honest, guys, I'm not going to step foot into a jail unless I have to.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm gonna stay at school.
That's fair.
You guys
That's
can all
fair.
do your thing,
That's
but
fair.
like I don't need to be scared straight.
Yeah.
Like I'm good.
Nah, they took us to the one downtown Suffolk County one.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that's literally where my, because
Yeah.
one of my like assistant teachers or something used to be a corrections officer, so he
Yeah.
had the in to like
Yeah.
get you in there with him. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Nah,
I
it
just
was a
had
good
no
experience,
interest.
man. It was a good experience.
Yeah, like so
Yeah.
I do slightly regret it because I do think that like I'm never gonna see the inside of a jail. You know, knock on wood, like whatever. But ideally, I'm never gonna see the inside of a jail, so it would have
Right.
been kind of an experience
It was
to
dope, man.
see that. But
Dope. Yeah.
Oh.
They was mad at us because we took their rec time. So
Really?
I did feel bad about that.
oh,
Yeah.
so like they were like, damn, we're supposed to be out in the yard right now,
and then
I'm
they
out
got
here.
our ass walking through it. Fuck y'all, blah, blah, bitch. Yeah, it was. They was.
That's a little awkward.
They was hot.
Yeah,
They was hot.
that's a little weird.
Yeah, because so you know it's like literally in shows you go door to door and they gotta lock each door, open each door. Before the door where we go into the pods, everybody is out. They're all hanging out, chilling. Some is out there shooting hoops and shit. They see us. Everybody, of course, look because it's new people. The COs start rounding them up, putting them back where they
and
supposed
they're
to
like,
go.
I can see it being heated,
Mother,
bro.
they don't get that much rec time. So yeah, they
Yeah,
was fucking hot.
That would piss me off a little
Me
bit
too.
Like
Me
if
too.
you were at recess
Yeah.
and some motherfucker came and were like, yeah, we're gonna come talk to you about Dare.
Look,
Like we're gonna
like
do a
they
Dare speech
like
to
they
you.
fucking animals, and we just walking by. Oh.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah, like,
see,
I felt bad, bro. I felt bad.
but at the same time, you go in there and you're like, damn, these motherfuckers get to play basketball and shit.
They had a breeze so they could look over the city and see like from the court. It was dope. It
Well,
was a
because
good view. It was a good view.
like Kamaru Usman, right, the welterweight champion,
Mhm.
his dad was locked up, and he was like one of the few things that they got like Fox or something like that, so he got to watch him fight on TV a few
I
times.
thought you were about to say
while
you
he
got
was
to
in-
watch The Simpsons.
Yeah, that too. But Homer getting his ass whooped.
Yeah.
But he
Yeah.
was like, I got to watch him, and I'm like, damn, like it's quiet, it's crazy. Like, I guess it all depends what level criminal you are too.
Yeah.
But like,
Yeah.
you can just be a Friday night, Saturday night, the fights are on. Like,
Yeah.
can I good behavior? Can you toss the fights on the TV there for me? Like, that's
Yeah.
just wild, you know.
Yeah.
But you can't take all that stuff away because you're only going to create worse people if you give them no mode of like
Right.
sanity and entertainment. So I get that, you know.
Right.
I think we've run out of sports. I don't know if you have any other sports that you
I
can
don't.
rattle
I don't.
off.
I don't.
Not bad for a sports talk just off the top of my head, right?
I mean, this is Good Taste Weekly, and here we are talking about sports. I love it.
yeah,
I love it.
It's a little new. Shit. So me and you went to the movies, right?
Yeah, we did.
We went and saw Snake Eyes.
Me and you had a mandate.
Yes, we did.
We
yes,
had a
we
mandate.
did.
A bro date.
Yeah, that
Bro
sounds a
date.
little better.
Bro date. Yeah, I want to
Sounds a little more. It was a hetero bro date.
hetero bro date.
Yeah.
Like, yo, my
Yeah,
man.
except for that time your hand slipped.
I'm sorry.
No, sorry, I didn't. We're good.
What? The time I tried to hand you the popcorn.
Oh yeah. So you yeah.
I tried to, yo, man.
But
You're
yeah,
a sick dude, bro. You're
your
sick.
hands were buttery, bro.
Yo, man, what's up with you? The fuck?
No, but I was like, damn.
Hey, yo,
those-
fans.
yo,
Just so y'all know.
yo, your hands were shiny though.
Just so y'all know. My hands are always shiny because I use lotion.
Okay.
First of
yeah,
all,
butter.
gotta-
Butter grease.
No, cocoa butter.
Oh,
Stupid.
cocoa butter grease.
Cocoa butter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't disrespect the black community. That's a bad community to disrespect, bro. They will fuck you up.
I just didn't know they were. Never mind.
Yeah,
I was
I tread lightly. Tread the fuck
We're
lightly.
good. We're good. We're good.
Shout out Archer. I
Yeah.
mean, even though you aren't black.
Oh, dude, you gonna do him like that? Oh man, but he probably uses cocoa butter.
Yeah, I don't know.
You think his head shines like that without it?
Baby oil.
Okay. Stands at home baby oil and something. All right, we're not gonna keep ricocheting.
Shout out
Archer.
Archer. That's my guy.
All right, so yeah, we saw Snake Eyes.
Yeah, we did, bro.
I haven't done a pod since I saw that.
Yeah.
Let's hit him with a little bit of a review.
Yeah.
A couple things actually. So first and foremost, I know I did. I won't speak for you. I came out actually feeling pretty positive about
Yeah.
the movie.
Mm-hmm.
The story is fine. You know, like I'm not gonna sit here and lie to anybody and tell you it's a blowaway action movie of the summer or anything like
Mhm.
that. But it was better than I expected it to be. Largely, at least for me, because I liked the two lead roles. I liked Storm Shadow and I liked Snake Eyes, Henry Golding. I think he's like one of the top 5 guys in Hollywood for me right now, as far as like up and coming, and like really excited to see him keep getting roles.
Next to blow is what we call it. Sorry,
Yeah,
that sounded
alright, bro.
crazy.
Alright,
No, that
bro,
sounded
no,
crazy.
you're good.
Soon as I said it, it stopped. But
Yeah, and blow what?
blow up. Next
Yeah,
to blow up.
Alright,
Sorry.
yeah,
Sorry. Next
yeah,
to blow
good.
up. Yeah,
Complete
sorry.
the thoughts.
Wow.
Complete your thoughts.
Jesus. Sorry. Sorry, Golden.
Henry Golden. Yeah.
Yes. Shout
Yeah.
you out. Sorry, brother.
So, but there were obviously some stuff like the plot's a little wild. The action, I've said this to you off air.
You thought the plot was wild?
It's it's an action
predictable.
movie. It's like yeah,
Predictable.
even though I think this is what I liked so much about it though, was we both did kind of lean to each other and be like, all right, like this and this is gonna happen, right? But I did love that, like, even though I know that was gonna happen, I like Henry Golding. I kind of hated his character through some of that movie. And
90% of it.
like everything else here, man, I'm just gonna hit you with 3, 2, 1 spoiler.
Spoiler.
Like, just be ready
Yeah.
for it.
Sorry. y'all.
If you haven't seen it
It's
yet,
been out 2-3 weeks now,
yeah,
man.
and I'll
Man,
get
come
to the
on, bro.
fact that nobody fucking saw it, so who cares?
Right.
Um,
And so our review should be law for y'all, really.
yeah,
Honestly.
like nothing else. You didn't see it. I know none of y'all motherfuckers saw it.
Just listen to us. Listen to us. Let us tell you and then go see the shit. It was fine. It was alright.
But I genuinely, like, I kind of hated him, right? And it's not like it's a good hate. It's like, damn, you're a likable character. I can tell you have good in you, but you're so vindictive and you're so stuck in your vendetta
Yeah.
that you can't get past it. And I think that's relatable. But I also think it's like, fuck this dude. Like, how is he
Yeah.
gonna do this to these
Yeah.
people who are letting him in? You know?
Yeah, they was basically called you like family and stuff like
Mhm.
that. You know what, Lenny? Can I take a brief sidebar here, like a brief, like we're riding down the street. I just want to like pull over for a second.
All right.
This movie in particular, really, now that me and you've talked about it like in depth, like off air.
Yeah.
This movie really made me realize like R.I.P. to the bootleg.
Yeah.
R.I.P. to the bootleg. You know, I don't want to date myself, but in a situation like this, I would let one of my peoples go and see the movie. You would tell me, you know what, bro? It ain't good, but it ain't trash.
Yeah.
At that point, I would decide whether I wanted to spend my $20 to go to the movies. Or I could ride up the street to the corner store. My mans, they already got it up on the bootleg. Mm-hmm. Granted, I'm not going to get at certain ones, depends on which one you go, but certain ones I might not get the best quality.
You might get bootleg. You might get the camera with some dude walking in front of you or something.
I might, or I might get the fire one.
Yeah, no, they were
roll of the dice.
Yep. You remember when you would get the ones? You'd get the ones with just the watermark, like they were the actual movie, but they just had the little watermark on them. Or whatever it was.
This is property of Universal. Do not resell.
Exactly.
I might get it.
I'm not reselling. I'm gonna watch this.
I might get it, but I didn't spend $20. I spent $5.
You know what I used to love when you'd get the bootlegs and they'd have the actual DVD case with the cover on it.
Come on, son. They had actual snake eyes on that bitch holding the sword. I love that.
They actually took the time to print off the IMDb
Listen,
page.
man, I haven't watched the bootleg in a really long time.
Well, but I mean, you act like there's not like I mean, Cody's been a thing. I don't know if people definitely still use it.
Digital bootlegs. That's what I'm saying. You know,
it's not physicals no more. Yeah,
and you had to jump through so many hoops, bro. Mm-hmm. I could just, like I said, I could go to the corner store and buy. You could
go to the corner store. You could go to the tea station. Like you could just walk by the tea station. People would be out there selling them.
My barbershop. I could get the bootleg if I really wanted it. Now you're right. It's a digital world. Pandemic happened. Like not a lot of stuff was going on to get it. This might have been a movie that, you know, we do 3, 2, 1 spoiler. We need to find some place to say 3, 2, 1 bootleg this.
Put the request out. Put the bat signal. The bootleg signal.
3, 2, 1 bootleg this. I did not, coming back onto the road, I didn't hate the movie.
No.
I thought it was solid. It was solid to me.
I had fun with it, man.
I had fun, bro.
I genuinely left being like, I've told you, man, I am bummed because speaking of what you're talking about here, I am in the camp of I think this movie should have gone to streaming. I don't think
probably would have performed better.
I think if this went to an HBO Max or a Paramount or something like that, way more people would see it. It would have way more positive buzz
because I don't
want
to spend the $25 to watch this.
Yeah.
But if I already own a streaming platform, you might get me.
And the reality is, it's not a date movie. You know what I mean? Like it's not. I mean, I know I took you on a date, but like it's not like grab your girl.
Damn, I pay for the snacks.
Yeah. Okay. Kind of. Yeah, like kind of. Can we
don't, bro. Stop putting our business out on the streets, cuz. What you doing?
You want me to talk about that? All right, bro. Well, I think now that people know there's something to talk about, they're going to be like trying to fill in their own blanks.
Yo, be cool, son. Yo, be cool. Yo, speaking of.
But I just think this movie, so this movie bombed, right, at the box office. It came in second. Did you see Old?
No, I'm not going to see.
Okay.
I told you.
I saw it.
I'm not fucking with M. Night.
All right, I saw it. So
was it terrible? See, stop. Don't even answer it right now because you about to lie.
I didn't like it.
Of course you didn't.
I didn't like
Every M. Night movie ends horribly.
But this is my thing.
Fuck M. Night. He's gotten me too many times, and I will never give him another $1 to watch something terrible.
And I can get into the issues with this movie, with this one, right? But like my problem now is like we all know that this dude's a bum, right? We all know that this dude is consistently letting you down in the movies. Yeah. And somehow that performed at number 1, but Snake Eyes came in at number 2. And when I say number 1, we're talking 16 million and 13 million, which in my mind, what I know about the box office, both of them suck.
Trash.
Like neither one did good. But 13 million for an action movie, D, that is bottom of the barrel. That is
Can I interject and ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
Yes, that's trash, and I'm not taking away anything from that trash. However, what I do want to ask you is, I won't date you, but I know you're in your...
You tried to date me.
No, you're in your... Whoa, fam, whoa. Yo, hey, you gotta fucking chill. Because the people that watch this, and they're gonna bug the fuck. Relax, dog. All right?
You said it.
Relax.
All right, you said it, though.
Listen, I'm not going to date you. You're late 20s, early 30s.
Yep.
All right?
You're around it.
Yeah.
I'm about to be my birthday, though.
Shout you out.
About a week out.
Oh, okay. Shit, why you ain't telling me? What we doing?
I won't be in the state.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, baller.
Excuse me.
Yeah,
I won't be in the state.
Yeah, you know, I got to fly out, yo. I'm going to Cabo for the week, you know.
You act like you're never coming back. Like it's not an expiration date on when we can chill.
Yeah, no, we'll figure it out.
All I was saying was, your late 20s, early 30s.
Mm-hmm.
How many people actually? How much of a crowd is fucking with G.I. Joe?
Steve Archer.
Shout out Steve Archer again. Baby
Yeah,
all
wow.
on the head.
Government name. My bad, Steve.
Yeah, wow. That's crazy.
I just pulled him out.
Again. Yeah.
We just keep putting his business out there.
Yeah. That's why Archer a real one. Because Archer said something like, damn, real my whole name, government.
Yeah.
Relax.
He was right.
Yeah,
He
for
was
sure.
right. That just came right out. First thing in the episode.
Flagrant, man.
Like, people might only watch 5 minutes, but they got Steve's government.
Flagrant, man. Shout you out with flagrant, bro.
There
isn't a big crowd, bro.
You're right. That's why I think it's definitely one of those, like, go to streaming, because streaming gives you the ability to take a risk on a movie, gives you the ability to kind of take a shot and see if something piques your interest at all, right? You good?
Sorry, I was thinking about the old episode when you said Archer. He really had a fandom for Shannon Tatum. He was going in on the origins of G.I. Joe. I was like, yo, no, I love the Shannon Tatum. Like, well, damn, what's up with you?
No, I think I might have
That
said
was you?
that. I think that might have been
That's all I remember. In my head, I was watching. I was like,
Yo,
why are you on Shannon
Yo,
Tatum
I
so
fuck
hard?
with Channing Tatum, bro. That same year that he put that movie out. Let's talk. You want to talk about a year for this man? He put out G.I. Joe the same year. He put out The Vow, which I know you never saw, but he also put out 21 Jump Street, which is pretty fucking good.
Fire.
So he had a good little year
Fire.
there. He also hates G.I. Joe. I don't know if you knew that. He hated doing that movie. But they fucked up.
I mean, again, that's why I probably didn't pop like that.
But when you really get down to it, like, they kind of fucked up because they should have paid him more. They killed him off at the beginning of the second one. And they probably should have kept him.
Should they?
Yeah.
Why? You've let it be known that you hate G.I. Joe. Why we need to keep you?
Because they knew
Is Channing Tatum still box office?
So the only reason he ended up doing G.I. Joe is because he had signed it early in his career. He had signed like a 3 or 4 movie deal with Paramount. And they basically, the reason he hated it was because he didn't have a choice. Like, they were just like, you're doing this movie because you need to fulfill your contract to us. Okay. So he ends up doing the movie.
You can't hate it.
Like,
you can't hate it. That's you signed. Shut the fuck up.
You can still be like, and this was it's not like he said at the time, I hate this movie. This was like years later when he was on like Howard Stern or something. They were like, oh, you did G.I. Joe? And he was like, yeah, I fucking hated that. Which I think like what just happened? Matt Damon just did an interview talking about the movie. Do you see when he did The Great Wall? He did the movie where he's like a white dude in China.
Fam, why you ask me that? You know I didn't see that. It's like The Last Samurai with Tom Cruise.
Oh,
shout out Paul Mooney. Shout out Paul Mooney. No, I don't want to see any white person perpetuating culturally inappropriate shit. No.
It was just another instance where like white America came to save the world.
Yeah, like what the fuck?
But my point being is like sometimes these dudes sign up for movies and it's just you end up in a situation where you're like, damn, how did I get here? And then years later,
that's what Shannon Tatum was like. Damn, how did I get here for G.I. Joe?
Well, I mean, he was like, damn, I cashed a check, but like,
thank you.
That movie's trash. Which it's okay to be like that movie's trash. Like
Shannon Tatum didn't strike me as Joe.
I mean, he was Duke, but you know
that
he was all right, bro. Hey, what do you think of Marlon Wayans in that movie? You know, like, did he strike you as a Joe, bro?
Shout out Marlon Wayans, bro.
Kind of.
Marlon Wayans gave us Scary Movie.
Okay. And he gave us what? White Chicks, right? So
2 classics.
Sure.
How many classics Shannon Tatum got? 21 Jump Street.
The Vow. Yeah, so Channing Tatum's best work is The Vow, in case anybody else was wondering. That and Dear John, if anybody wants to really dust off his chick
flick. Like I've heard that before. That's another crier movie?
Yeah. It's all, you know what they all are? They're Nicholas Sparks, the guy who wrote The Notebook. He starred in like mad of his movies. Okay. Which like totally side topic. If you really get down to like from the year of like 2007 till like 2015, that dude Nicholas Sparks, like the books he wrote made bank.
He went on a run.
Yeah, I mean like The Notebook, obviously. Like I think even dudes see The Notebook and they're like, all right, no, that movie's pretty straight.
I watched it.
Yeah,
and I was like, never again.
Yeah, but you watch it once and it's not the worst thing in the world, right?
No, I was straight because if I'm not watching it with a young lady, and then I also don't want to be like,
Mm-hmm.
Who could have?
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Another top 5 I'm going to do at some point is, and I might just do this on my own because I don't know if anybody else really get in the bag with me on this one, but
What's
like
that?
top 5 movies that just made me cry. So
Lion King's on there.
okay,
Come on, man.
All right, well that's just like a different kind of cry, bro. I don't know.
So you didn't cry for Lion King?
I mean I did, but like maybe when I was younger, but like I'm talking
You're
like
talking about grown man.
I'm talking about grown man cry.
You know what made me? I've told you this before, and which didn't make my our top 5 when we did it. But Edward Scissorhands
Fucked you up. Yeah.
bro, fucked me up to the day.
Yeah, it would make you adult cry now.
To this day.
I'm the worst, bro, because like I'll just adult cry at some shit that I shouldn't even be crying at. I think I cry happy tears at movies sometimes. like I get
Edward Scissorhands comes on USA right now. I'm cutting it off before the end. I'm turning the channel.
I know what's coming.
I know how I'm saying. You can catch me slipping.
Oh,
it's like Denzel when he got the one single thug tape.
Well, I'm not bawling my eyes out because like I feel too ashamed because I'm like by myself in my room. But like
it's not like full on.
I'll hit him with like the one. You feel your eyes starting to water up.
Yeah.
Fuck.
So you gotta catch it a couple of times, like try to wipe.
You know what? You know what? GI Joe. Well, Snake Eyes ended up making me do.
What's that?
Because we joked about it. Like one of my favorite things about the movie is I love that like they'll just be in a room. And all of a sudden, like 15 dudes will just run in, like 90s style, and try to fight them. Like, I love that shit. So, what I ended up doing was I went and watched Rumble in the Bronx.
Okay. Shout out Jackie Chan.
Yeah. And bro, oh my God. I haven't seen that movie in so long. If you haven't seen that movie, you need to fucking see it. And anybody who has seen that movie, rewatch it again because it is awesome.
I used to have that on DVD.
It's like...
You know how like when you have a kid and you got to you have to put a movie on for your kid to be happy and be appeased.
Yep.
I was like, that
Rumble
was it
in the
for
Bronx.
me. That was mine. You had to put Rumble in the Bronx before. I knew that movie front and back.
It's hilarious. First of all, because it's like I keep saying, it's like it's dubbed, so it's definitely from the perspective of like this is what a Chinese person thinks of what America is in the 90s.
Yeah.
And it's hilarious to see the way, and America was fucking crazy in the 90s anyway. Yeah. So it's just funny to see it's depicted that way.
Yeah.
But Jackie Chan's the GOAT, bro. Like those action sequences in that movie put to shame anything I've seen in any movie in the past 5 years.
So imagine how Jackie Chan viewed America in the 90s versus how Eddie Murphy viewed America in the 90s and Coming to America. Two different Americas, bro.
No, they're very different.
Two different Americas.
Dude, because Jackie Chan was like, I'm going to live the American dream. I'm going to come. I'm going to see all the sights. I'm going to get a bitch. I'm going to fuck some people up. Eddie Murphy's still trying to. Eddie Murphy's still out here trying to find the American dream. I don't know. I didn't watch the new one, but
me neither. I didn't. I heard it was terrible. I didn't waste my time.
Really bad. Yeah.
Are the 90s the golden era of movies?
So I think for one reason, and this is like I beat this to death on this fucking podcast, but
yeah,
my thing is movies are too long now. And
2 hours?
Like 2 hours plus, like everything. So Jungle Cruise just came out today, right? The movie's 2 hours and 7 minutes. Like,
why do I need the extra 37 minutes?
I just, like I think an hour. The thing about the 90s was, dude, all those action movies that we love in the 90s are all like an hour and a half long. There's a lot of them that go 2 hour runtime. You had to be a special movie in the 90s to go 2 hours.
You remember, a movie that was 2 hours long in the 90s that was, I mean, it wasn't bad, but...
If you say Face Off, I'm going to be pissed off.
Nah, but
that's what Matt said to me earlier.
But it put me to sleep.
Yeah.
Sleepless in Seattle.
Oh,
2 hours.
That's what we're talking about, Sleepless in Seattle, bro?
That shit was long as fuck.
Well, yeah, but that's a different... I'm saying, like, action movies...
Oh, okay.
Should not be 2 hours. Like
neither should Sleepless in Seattle should have been 2 hours.
Yeah, that's a dry ass movie.
Dry as fuck for 2 hours. Come on, bro.
But you know what I mean? Like Rumble in the Bronx is an hour and 30 minutes. They don't even close up all the storylines. Because in my head, I'm like, bro, does his uncle come back and he's like, what'd you do to the convenience
store?
Matter.
They
don't even show him come back. I also love that his uncle just ends up like his uncle ends up like marrying a black lady, and like Jackie Chan's face when he first sees it is just like he's expecting it to be with an Asian woman like anybody else.
Yeah.
And it's the sweetest old like not even old black lady, but he's just so happy to fucking see like, and she's just giving him kisses and everything. That grandfather had the best honeymoon ever.
Jackie Chan knew the vibes.
Yeah. Well, she was giving off real positive vibes. But I felt bad for the chick who
shout out to that black queen.
The uncle sells the convenience store to the woman, and I swear this woman's just trying to fuck Jackie Chan the whole time.
Yeah,
and he does not pay her.
He's oblivious.
Any mind.
He's oblivious,
and like they don't. This is my thing with that movie where they just create storylines that they don't even acknowledge.
I love it
because
Jackie Chan is the GOAT, bro. I don't need to close up storylines.
Those action sequences in that movie are so intricate, and it's so impressive that he basically choreographs that whole thing, because like that shit goes for like each fight sequence goes for like 5 minutes, 6 minutes.
Is there, again, I'm relying on you, is there anybody else who has done their own stunts to the level of Jackie Chan? Tom Cruise, I guess you might.
Tom Cruise would be the number one, and because
you put him over Jackie.
No. But what? Yes, the thing is, Tom Cruise's stunts are at like a 20, right? Okay. The shit that he's doing, holding your breath for 5 minutes, like there's like real skill that's involved in that. There's real threat that's involved in that. Standing on the side of a plane, all this shit that he does, like those have a real level. But at the same time, in Rumble in the Bronx, Jackie Chan's like 5 stories up and jumps from one roof to a fire escape across a gap on the next building over.
No net.
Yeah, nothing.
Let it be known.
Just
no
fucking
net.
Does it. So they're both very happy. Did you know in Rumble in the Bronx, so the best thing they do in that movie is at the very end, the post credits are basically not a blooper reel, but they're just kind of showing his stunts. And you know that he broke his fucking leg in the very beginning of the movie. Like he's doing most of that shit with a broken leg. Yep. That's
bro,
the
I told you I used to watch
that.
Ass. Like I told you, that used to be the movie I would put on every day. I used to know that movie front to back.
Because I think the fight when he finds out that the girl's convenience store gets destroyed and he goes into their little like lair and he's fighting, like I love that fight sequence when he's like, he does the shit with the chair that he ends up doing in Rush Hour a couple movies later, but he also like the part with the pinball machines and all this. It's classic action. It makes me want to go back and watch everything Jackie Chan.
So you didn't give me a definitive answer. You said
it's Tom Cruise.
No. Are the 90s the golden era of movies?
For me, they are. Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay.
I mean, but again, another thing I beat to death on here is that like 90s is the golden era for action movies in general. Like late 80s into the 90s.
So what era are we in now then?
I mean, you're in the superhero era now.
Yeah, we are.
Like
okay.
You're
I'm rolling.
And it's even bled into like Fast and the Furious and all this other stuff. We're in that era of like people being invincible and like larger than life. It's a little bit more like, I guess, comparatively like WWE. In a way, like these guys that are like
larger than
life, whereas back then it's like there was a certain grittiness to the way action
was. A lot of normal ass dudes.
Yeah, well that's why Die Hard is like my favorite action movie of all time, right? Is like this is a dude who just comes off like a normal ass cop that you could see on the street, and he just one day ends up in a situation and he's got to find, and he doesn't win all of his fights because one of the biggest flaws in Fast and Furious, right? I don't know if you know this, but there's basically there's a point system in the contracts that are written for Fast and the Furious, right? And what the point system is how many times you're allowed to like what a punch equals this many points, a kick equals this many points, and that's when like The Rock and Vin Diesel have this huge beef, is that like neither one of them would lose a fight. Right, so like the Vin Diesel is not allowed to lose a fight. The Rock's not allowed to lose a fight in his roles, and they basically set up systems where it's like, okay, if I throw you through the wall, that's equivalent to me punching you 5 times over here, and it's just like it makes it so they're impervious to pain. They don't fucking bleed. Like it's just kind of ridiculous, right? And I love the Fast and Furious more than anybody, but that's what I appreciate about the '90s, and I guess like Arnold Schwarzenegger was
getting their ass whipped.
Yeah.
Well, which was, I know me and you, and I'll take the blame for it. I'm sorry, Matt. I know you keep shit on track. Because of how my mind works, like I'll be thinking of something I got to get out because I'm not going to remember it.
Sure.
But brings me back to what we were talking about with Snake Eyes, which is what you loved, which is what I hate, which I told you when we walked out the movie theater. If I have a Jackie Chan, which we talked about, if I have a Jackie Chan Rumble in the Bronx over here where he's kicking 30 dudes' ass, right? And I compare it to a Snake Eyes, the camera angles are wrong. It was very jumpy, and
that's why I went and watched.
Like you said, it was impervious to everybody's impervious. You got no hits in. Nobody out the 25 got a hit in. Like you was kicked all 25 ass. Like if you once you see the movie, Snake Eyes didn't come in with some like great ninja fighting skill.
No, he kind of taught himself.
Right.
Like,
He was just out there cage fighting. Like, you mean to tell me 25 trained trained ninjas out of Tokyo couldn't land a hit on this motherfucker? Man, come on, man. Get the fuck out of here.
well, it's and I said spoiler. I don't necessarily want to spoil the whole thing, but even the whole premise of like the sun thing that they have and how like that's OP. Like there shouldn't have even been like that dude's just like they had too many of those tropes of a bad guy where it's like I need to get all these terms and phrases in before I burn you to death when it's like just burn these. But if you really have this vendetta and you really want to run shit, just burn them all, bro. Like get them out of there. But honestly, that's why I went and watched Rumble in the Bronx because we watched that and I see these fight sequences which are fine, but there's no defining moment in any of the fights.
Jackie Chan was getting his ass whipped in some of the fights.
And on top of that, dude, there's memorable shit in each. Like, there's like 10 different 5-minute fight sequences in that movie, and you can remember stuff from all of them. Yeah. Like, and it's because he pays so much attention to detail. And I always bring it up, like John Wick. It's like that's the same thing with John Wick, right? And his is more gunplay than it is like hand-to-hand combat, right? It's a little more grappling and guns, but you remember those sequences because there's so much attention to detail put into it. It's the same thing. Like I love Jet Li growing up. Jet Li was the same shit.
Jet Li was your guy.
Yeah, he even more than I think more than Jackie Chan. I think I actually, as I've gotten older, I appreciate Jackie Chan more because I think he's more flexible. Like he's genuinely funny. He can do funny roles really well, but he also backs it up with action. Whereas Jet Li was just a badass, right? Like Romeo Must Die. Like I remember seeing that movie and being obsessed with it. Like I remember loving that fucking movie.
You like Aaliyah?
Of course. Yeah, like, you didn't?
I mean, yeah, of course.
Yeah, like, I loved Aaliyah in that movie. She's one that, like, as far as, like, celebrities who have passed, I think that she's one of those ones where I'm like, damn, like, that girl was special. You know, like.
She had a lot more. She had a lot more going on.
Well, because, like, she was a triple threat, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it double threat, I don't even know, because, like,
Queen did the damn? Come on, man.
Yeah. I mean, and I guess I don't even include that because she passed during that, right? So it's not even all her. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that movie's like half filmed before she passed away.
I mean, she still was bad in there though.
But dude, her and Romeo Must Die, awesome, and like Jet Li, just the fight sequences, and Anthony
Shout out
Anderson.
DMX.
Yeah, DMX was one. So that was the other thing is like DMX I ended up loving a lot of like 2005 before that like. Cradle to the Grave is my shit, bro.
Belly?
Like Belly, Exit Wounds. Like I love a lot of Belly. DMX movies. So it's a good song.
Steady, are you ready?
Jet Li, you had like The One, which is like early Jason Statham. Like Jet Li, I think just had more of the movies that I was watching at that point.
Right.
But at the same time, like Shanghai Noon, I remember that movie very fondly when I was a little kid. You know, like Rush Hour is obviously Rush Hour. We all like, arguably Jackie Chan has the bigger hits. I didn't even realize.
Arguably.
Yeah, I mean, he does.
Yeah, it's not even arguably.
You're right. Like on paper, on like box office wise, he definitely does. But Jet Li has some really good movies.
He got some sleepers to you.
He does.
I mean, I don't think he fucking with Jackie.
What the fuck is the one I'm thinking about right now? The one where he was a dog. Like he's not a dog, but remember he has the collar and white dude's like controlling him, and when he takes the collar off, he's unleashed. I think it's called Unleashed. It's called Unleashed. Yeah. He's like basically his attack dog. Whenever he takes the leash off, he just goes and beats the shit out of people. That's fucking awesome. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I love Jet Li probably more when I was little, but I look now and I didn't even realize, like, Jackie Chan was acting in the 1960s, bro. How nuts is that?
Insane.
And Jackie Chan, I didn't know that. He's still doing it. He was like bit
Rush Hour 3?
That doesn't count. Rush Hour 3 is not good. It's not as bad as I think we remember
I heard
it.
another one coming out, though. I don't know how true it is.
How are you going to do another one? Chris Tucker can get himself in shape in 2012, bro. Like, I don't know if you could do another one, but I like The Foreigner. Did you see that one, The Foreigner?
No.
The Jackie Chan movie. Came out in like 2017. It's really fucking good.
It's on Voodoo?
Maybe. I think it is. I think it is. So it's like, because that's Jackie Chan kind of returning to form.
Yeah.
It's an action movie, but he's in his older life. So as far as getting your ass kicked and stuff, like
Chris Tucker didn't do too many stunts in Rush Hour. It was all Jackie Chan.
no, he didn't.
So I mean, if you can still be funny, Chris Tucker, you probably can still be good.
But is he still funny?
We'll see.
I just if they're doing
if you know what,
I mean,
and,
I'm
and
there
honestly,
for it.
And honestly, if Chris Tucker won't give us another Friday, I really don't know how much I'm interested in seeing another Rush Hour at the same time.
Yeah, what was his most recent reason for not wanting to do? Is it him and
Two things.
Ice Cube? Have
Two
issues?
things. He said Ice Cube. I don't know if he was being funny or being for real. Said Ice Cube didn't pay him for the last Friday, and then he said that he doesn't smoke anymore, so he didn't see the need to do another
Being
Friday.
a role being called Smokey, yeah, it's kind of tough, right?
Yeah, but it's a fucking role. You're an actor. Grow the
Well,
fuck
exactly.
up.
Like,
what are you talking
People
about?
smoke fake fucking weed for their roles
Yeah,
all
what
the
are
time.
you? Yeah, what are you talking
I
about?
feel you on
Shut
that.
up.
But I think I agree with him where it's like it's not authentic anymore, and it's really just being made for money. If he's coming back and doing Friday 4 just for the sake of doing,
Sure, I guess, but you also, I mean, in the era of the remake, in the era of the sequel, bro, your fans have been asking for you to come back. Your fans have been asking for you to come back since Friday 1.
Okay, but from
Since the first Friday.
from a story perspective, what could they really?
I'm not here to talk about.
That's
the
fine.
writing,
I'm just
I
saying,
don't
like,
know.
okay, when I think about Rush Hour 4, I'm like, all they have to do is just make some bad guy who's bring back Juntao or some shit. I don't know, but like,
For the record, I heard Homegirl has glowed up. I've seen like pictures on her on Black Twitter. Lil Ling Ling
from the first one.
What?
Push the button. Push the goddamn button.
She is bad now.
Oh shit.
Ooh, when we get off camera, I'm gonna show you, bro.
All right,
she is tough.
Okay.
Lil Ling Ling got that shit now.
Every time I always have that push the button in my head.
Yeah,
like, put
the goddamn button.
Yeah. Push the button.
Yeah. She's a baddie.
But you know, like I think that's a lot easier to make another movie for. You know.
Sure.
Continuing with movies. So
Yeah.
I mentioned this before we got on, and you hadn't heard about it. So
I had not.
Scarlett Johansson
Scarjo.
is suing Marvel.
Tell me why, brother. I have no idea. This is all breaking news. Breaking news. Why?
So I'm with her on this. So basically,
you're with her.
Her
You're
contract.
starting off early with I'm with her.
Her contract was that she would do a solo Black Widow movie,
Okay.
and that it would be released directly to theaters, no streaming. And she was in a large percentage of her pay was going to be dictated by box office performance in the theaters. So when Disney released to Disney Plus, that cut her money essentially in half when you really get down to it, right? Because the movie did week 1, it did like 80 million in theaters, 60 million at home. Like that's a large portion of money. So her point is like, if I'm getting paid off the performance of this movie and you changed basically went against the terms of our agreement that this movie would have a run in the movie theaters without having any other options for people to watch. And like, obviously from Disney's perspective, I do understand things changed. Like COVID happened, like that contract was signed under different means. I'm not oblivious to that, but it still doesn't mean that a contract wasn't signed and that didn't affect her financially. Now, at the end of the day, like we're talking about a millionaire being upset about not getting paid some extra millions, but we're talking about $1 billion company.
Yeah, I'm not doing that.
Over the top of them,
Yeah,
right? So it's like, where do you feel about it? Like, are you with me that I feel for? I understand where she's coming from.
I am rolling, and I'm merely rolling with you because the head of the head said it as well. He echoed that sentiment before I even know anything of what you just told me just now. Kevin Free, I'm gonna call him my friend name. I guess my
Feige,
dog, Feige Free, whatever the fuck his name is, came out and said the same thing. He was less than pleased that HBO decided to stream it as well.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Disney. I say
Disney
Disney
Plus.
Sorry,
yeah,
my fault.
Yeah.
Disney decided to stream it as well. He was like, that was never their agreement. He was like, they only went and did that, unbeknownst to him. He was like, when he found out, it was, again, too many processes were in place and it was already happening. So,
and I get it because it's like, it kind of hurts your brand too, right? Because like you have this two things, right? You have your TV platform that you've kind of, it's feeding into your bigger product. But the whole point of the TV stuff and the Disney Plus stuff is to drive interest in the major movies so they make more money.
Well, and again, for the record, again, as you know as well, it wasn't on Disney Plus. You could not just go and watch.
It was
Black Widow.
$30. Yeah.
Yeah, it was on Premiere.
Yeah.
You had to go and pay to watch it.
Yep.
So,
but you pay. So here's what I didn't realize. I used to think that the $30 was like you got it for 24 hours or 48 hours. These motherfuckers own this, right? So that person who wanted to maybe go see this movie 2 or 3 times now has got to pay $30 and they've got it permanently. They can watch as many times as they want to, right?
it's streaming. I'm at the crib.
I get it, but it is like there is some like how many times do you think people see Marvel movies? Like there's people who see Marvel movies
Bite
4,
the
5,
bite
6.
the bite.
Yeah, you know what? So again, do I think that the 60 million that was sold on streaming, all 60 million would have gone to the movie theaters and seen it? However many people that equals
COVID's
out to?
still real.
No, so I don't think they would have. But do I think they would have made an extra 20 mil at the box office?
Sure.
An extra 30 mil at the box office? I
And
think
if
that's pretty
it
realistic.
affect my pockets, it affect my pockets. Like I don't put too much stock into the, I'm a millionaire and from my little corner of the world, like yeah, bitch, you crying over, Lord, forgive me, you're crying over, 5 million, like, and when you got 50 million in your pocket,
But it's a principle thing
it's
too, right?
Yo, it's
like,
my 5 million.
we
It's the same-
we signed a contract.
Yeah.
What's that 5 million to Disney? Nothing. You wipe your ass with that. Pay me.
Fam, what's the difference? Like, it's the same way I would have felt if somebody owed me 20 and I'm like, yo, no, it's my 20. Give me my 20.
I have 2
It ain't
final
about it.
things, right? Like I think first and foremost, I think they'll end up just settling, right? They'll just pay her
Of
out
course
some
they
money.
will. Yeah.
Secondly, do you think she would be doing this if she was going to be coming back? Like I think the fact that her
Because they probably would have negotiated that with her on a comeback sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like, yo, all right, you know what, you're right, but we're going to hit you back on this. We'll get you back right.
Exactly.
Sort of
So it's like you're not
for your contract on, in game 2 or whatever comes up.
Well, it's
Avengers
even like
4,
she
we'll
might
get
not
you back.
want to. She might not want to bite the hand that feeds her, but the fact that her run's done, she's like, I'm gonna take you for everything I can,
Why
and you
not?
can't punish me anymore because you can't
Why
diminish my role. You
not?
can't.
Why not,
Yeah,
bro?
I know.
Why
I feel her. Like
not? Do it.
they kind of put themselves in this position by killing her off and then giving her a standalone movie. Like you took away
which
any
you already
leverage.
talked about. Like
Yeah.
I already know how this character's role ends.
You took away any leverage that you had
The
over her.
biggest part of the entire movie is now you've set up for what happens on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Like
So
what in the grand scheme of things, in the entire scope of things, this was only to set up for streaming.
Mhm.
You gave me an 8, whatever the budget was. You spent a lot of bread. It was already done anyway. But like, my sentiment on Black Widow was too little, too late. Too little, too late. Sorry. Not that I would have even. I'm not even the most fully invested in Black Widow. I
don't think anybody was like stupid invested in her, right?
Whatever comes from the movie comes from the movie. Great. It has no bearing on what's happening in current Phase 4. It had her movie, like the actual movie, not the in credit, but her actual movie has no bearing on any of that. It was just to say we finally get a backstory and we get to really, really know what happened to her. Like kick rocks. I don't give.
Well, and you do set up things. You set up a new Black Widow. You do set up some stuff, right?
Yeah, a little bit. But how much did you care?
I mean, personally, like, I understand on a grander scheme of things, most people I don't think do. Me personally, like Florence Pugh, the chick who's in that, probably never seen it. There was a movie called Midsummer that came out a few years ago. It's a fucked up movie, but she was great in it. Like, really, really good. So I had kind of like a natural, like, I want to see what this chick's doing. I'm happy that she's involved in Marvel now because she deserves to kind of take a step up in fame. Why do you always
pose like this?
Yeah. She wasn't, I didn't think her accent was too bad.
Why do you always pose? You do the pose.
You do the pose.
You do the pose. Yeah. I liked her.
So, speaking of Disney Plus,
keep it rolling.
We got a date for Hawkeye.
Did we now?
November 24th.
Is there anything coming before that? What if
is about 2 weeks out, I think.
2 weeks out.
Yeah. So
what if we'll go from that'll be August
it's either gonna
to
be 6
September?
or 8. It's either gonna be it's gonna be a month and a half or 2 months, I assume.
Okay. So let's say August to September.
Mm-hmm.
And then what?
I forget what there is something in between.
Okay.
And then you got Hawkeye. They released some stills today with Haley Steinfeld. If she's the girl, if you don't know her, she was in Bumblebee. She was the lead actress in Bumblebee. She's playing Jeremy Renner's daughter who's going to take over as Hawkeye, right?
Yeah.
So I'm definitely excited. I really like her. Obviously, Jeremy Renner is good, but he's probably on his way to moving on as well, right? So another way to kind of pass on to the next generation. Do you like the fact that like this franchise is so massive at this point that it's big enough that we could do a 15-year run with all these actors, and that we're able to it's kind of like Young Justice, right, from like DC, where you're able to bring up this new crop of younger actors to see if they can take the mantle and carry it?
You know, I guess I say yes with reservation, because you say this massive franchise, and I flip-flop to the complete opposite franchise, DC. So a show that I love is Titans.
Yeah.
You know,
New season about to drop. Yep.
A bunch of unnamed unknowns carrying on a greatly written story.
Yeah.
The story that's written is great. Like, I love it.
The execution hasn't been fantastic though, right?
Has not or has?
Has not, from what I understand. I own and I have them all on my.
I know me. You talk about it. And you haven't watched. You're not even caught up.
I've watched like one episode.
I could see someone being critical and saying the execution isn't great, but the actual story of what's happening is okay.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It's solid, especially if you came from Teen Titans, this cartoon show, to come to this. So when you say, you know, younger actors taking over the role and keeping it going, granted, Teen Titans has no bearing on what's happening in DC universe, but this is where I think they kind of beat Marvel in some spaces, is that Marvel has not done a good job of saying, all right, well, what happens with younger people? Like, what happens with the outside stories? Everything outside story is all of still the main actors. You got Miss Olsen, you got Jeremy Renner, you got all these other outside stuff. They tried with the New Mutants. They tried it.
Yeah, but that's on its own front. I think what you're going to see is obviously actual mutants getting involved in Marvel, and those will be some of the people that take you into the next phase.
Can't wait.
I just
Secret
think
Wars. I'm ready.
I do appreciate. I think I'm on the side though of like up until Endgame, you had a saga for all of those people that you had established before.
Yeah,
and I think you're moving into the new people. Dude who played who was the new Captain America, right? He's going to be more involved. Like, you do bring in
Mackie.
Well, no, I'm not even talking about him. I'm talking about the white dude, Russell.
Of course you would be.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? Like, because Anthony Mackie's already introduced.
There you go.
I'm just saying that, like, you've introduced a few new characters through the TV shows and through the movies that, you know, they're going to slowly, I think, break them in. Because even Anthony Mackie's a background player until you move the main people out, and now you bring in the new faces. So
you know what?
We just don't get opportunities like this where franchises can run this long to be able to see you try to develop new stars. You know?
This they're at the forefront. They're in the front.
It's kind of unprecedented in that regard.
It sure is.
You know,
sure. And I'm definitely not one of the people who say if it ain't broke, don't fix it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm cool with that. No shade there. So keep it rolling. Why not? Yeah, I'm interested to see what happens.
All right, so we've talked sports, we've talked pop culture.
Yes, sir.
Well, we've gone for an hour and a half.
Yes, sir.
Let's get into some weird shit.
Love it. Let's go.
My first question for you, D.
What it is?
How long do you think you could survive in the woods with a bear coming after you?
Give me more details. Like,
it's just basically the question.
Is the bear like chasing me? Do I have clothes?
Okay, so
like, am I shoes on? Like,
basically, there's this dude in Alaska, right? I think it was Alaska. It's some fucking place.
Bear Grylls.
No.
Oh.
But for story purposes, yes, Bear Grylls.
Bear Grylls.
He's in so this dude's in Alaska.
Yep.
He's all of a sudden some fucking bear starts following him. So he ends
following or chasing?
Following.
Be specific with your words.
Following, which is maybe more intimidating. I don't know.
Following.
So he's following him. He ends up finding a little hut somewhere out in the woods.
Okay.
He goes into the hut. For a week following, the bear just keeps harassing him. Day after day, showing up at this fucking shack, like, and trying to knock down the walls. And,
fuck your hut, cuz.
Yeah. How long you think you lasted?
I'm lasting until the bear knocks my shit over.
Yeah.
What am I gonna walk out?
Bro, I'm just keeping in mind, like, I don't know how this guy was getting the food. I don't know how he was getting water. Is he shitting in corners?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
basically, for a week straight, a bear just harasses this man in the fucking woods.
Come outside so I can fuck you up.
Yeah. And he only gets lucky because I don't know what type of rescue was doing like a flyover, and he ended up being able to get like a SOS out to them, and he ends up getting saved. But a week straight, bro, harassed by a bear in the woods.
You know what? Me and you both work in the customer service field.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine somebody
like some Karen ass bitch just outside your door.
She came into your place of employment for a week and just said, fucking belittled you, harassed you.
Unfortunately, I think we've gone through that shit.
Yeah, by different people, but the same person came in every day and was like, "You motherfucker, fuck you.
Yeah,
you fucked up, blah 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 blah.
Yeah.
I can't stand it." For a week,
really cutting into you, going
really getting into you.
Yep.
Now imagine that as a fucking wild animal who just not saying a word,
not a wild animal, like a fucking bear,
kicking your shit over. Fuck your hut. You have to shit in a corner.
I read that, and like, so I've been reading way more. So there was another one recently. So I guess like bear attacks are kind of up right now.
They hungry.
I read another one. Yeah, we weren't outside for a bit. Now we're back outside, and they're like, "We're coming after your ass."
This
So
is lit.
there was another one where this couple was on vacation. They're like camping out in the woods somewhere in like Montana or some shit, and you know, they do all the right things. Like you're supposed to keep your food way far away from your camp, locked up and all that stuff. They do all that. And they wake up one morning at like 6 a.m. and they hear something rustling around outside. They see a shadow. It's a fucking bear. So they all like, they bear spray it or whatever, try to get it out of there. It leaves for a little bit. They think they're cool. They go back to sleep. All of a sudden, this fucking bear rolls back through, pulls the chick out of the fucking tent, takes her, goes and kills her. Fucking dead.
Kills her?
Yes.
Oh no, that's deep.
Yeah. And it's like, I've always in my mind been like, dude, I love the woods. Like I love like
a lot of white people do.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
I love the quiet of it. I love that like you're nowhere near.
Funny
like,
enough, I love hiking.
else. Yeah, like,
but I just don't want to sleep in the woods.
There's just something peaceful about that. Like I'm with you. Like the sleeping's kind of tough, but like I would do it because I'd want to. At the same time, the sleeping sucks. Is like you wake up in the morning and you get like this, like you're never gonna get a better sleep probably unless a bear rolls up and fucking pulls you out of the thing.
I haven't camped in a very long time.
I'm trying to think when the last time I was. You know what I want to get for my truck?
Like real life camp.
I want to get for my truck. You can get like tents that are like cut like built into your pickup bed.
Are you familiar with glamping?
No, is that like a sex
you know what
thing?
glamping is?
Like,
my God, you know what glamping is?
No.
Glamping is like fake camping. It's like
Where you go in the backyard?
No, it's like glorified. I don't know what the actual G stands for, but it's like glorified camping, where you
make a little fort in your bedroom, and you just sleep on the floor.
Not quite.
Okay.
Not quite. You're actually.
Am I close?
No.
Okay.
No. You're actually in the woods, but it's somebody like a company comes out and like sets up like a luxurious tent.
So it's more white people shit.
You know, white people made up term glamping because black people don't camp.
That's a good point.
Like not like that. We camp, but not like that.
There was no camping in South Carolina.
Why are you kidding me? I was a Boy Scout before like the touching and shit.
No, it was probably during the touching.
Yeah, but nobody touched me.
Okay.
Yeah,
that's confirmed.
Motherfucking right is confirmed.
This is a safe place, my man.
You damn right is confirmed. You think somebody's gonna touch me? I wasn't gonna tell my mom. Kidding me?
Yeah, your mom probably whooped ass.
My mom was kicking ass. Are you kidding me? No, nobody touched me. Shout out to the soapbox derby. That was my best time ever.
I feel like you've told me that about the soapbox
derby. Yeah, bro. Before. I've told you my soapbox derby as a Boy Scout was litty. But yeah, bro. No, dead ass. I haven't camped in a long time. For that reason alone, like those things like that scare the shit out of me. Mm-hmm. I just don't think ever that I want to put myself in a position to be killed.
Bears are a whole other level. Like I don't. Whenever I think about like camping, I never think about Lenny, like there's gonna be a bear.
You told me bringing something full circle, a callback, as you guys love to say on this show, a callback. Mm-hmm. You told me you're going to Tennessee.
Yeah.
I like Tennessee. Tennessee's a dope place, but I don't like the downtown Nashville area. I go to the Smoky Mountains.
Okay.
because I like to hike. Funny enough, black people who hike, I'm in the group. I love hiking. It's one of my favorite things to do for like not in Massachusetts sort of things. Like I don't want to go to Blue Hills, like it's fine, but like I want to go to like real places, upstate New York, New Hampshire, Vermont, shit like that, Tennessee, Appalachian, all that shit like that. I've hiked those great places. A real motherfucking fear, or something like all of my black friends was, I hope we see a little black bear. I said, I hope the fuck we don't.
It's like for the culture.
Well, that number one, like they want to see a black bear just for the Instagram pictures, like, oh, look, a fucking black bear.
Yeah.
But I'm like, yo, if you see a black cub bear,
that means
that means that there's a mother bear near. I don't want to see no bears, none. Bro, I'm fucking straight.
Near my house is like our town forest, right?
Yep.
I walk Bailey down there all the time. A few weeks back, this mother and her 2 kids go for a hike out there. Mind you, I've walked these woods a million times in the past 10 years of my life, right? Yeah. Before I had Bailey, everything. I used to walk them all the time.
Yep.
They had to call the police because middle of the day, they turn around to go leave. They're trying to find their way out. They get a little turned around out there because if you don't know where you're going, you don't know the path, you'll get lost. It's kind of, you just end up in circles. They turn around. There's a fucking mother coyote just blocking their path.
Yeah.
Middle of the day, bro.
Yeah.
Just standing there staring at them.
What's up?
And it's like, you must be near the den. Like you somehow walked yourself into being right near the den. But middle of the day, you got to think like rabies, some shit like that. But ever since then, man, like I haven't walked those woods. I've walked a different set of woods near it because I'm like, bro, like I never even considered in my head. I've seen deer out there. I've seen shit like that. I've never considered in my head that I might just walk around a corner one day.
I don't even know how we got here, Lenny.
Yeah. But I told you it was going to get weird.
I love it. My mom, so I usually walk my dog at night through my little town in Quincy.
Mm-hmm.
It's residential, but from time to time I have the Ring app as well, and all of my little white neighbors are constantly talking about, oh, I seen a coyote.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, be careful,
which
guys.
for people who don't know out there, like Quincy, you see a coyote in Quincy, or like I know people who fucking like have seen them in Boston. Mm-hmm. Like for you to see a coyote, there's not fucking woods near you. Like like there's not big patches.
There's a marsh.
Of woods. Yeah,
we got some marshes.
There's very small amounts of woods near you.
Yes. So my mom, I tell my mom because me and her, we like to laugh about all the white people shit. Like no lie, we laugh about random white people shit all the time. So I tell her about those things, and she was like, "No, D, like I'm really concerned. Like you walk your dog, and sometimes I walk with my headphones in, so I'm just jamming, walking. Do
you do both? You do one?
Before I used to do both because I just didn't.
Sometimes I do. I normally at nighttime I try to just do one.
Which is what my mom said. And again, I'm just like, I'm in Quincy. I'm not worried about nobody robbing me.
No.
And then my mom is like, but no. Like, you told me multiple times, like, coyotes are out there. Like, you need to be paying attention to that shit. So she was like, do you walk with a stick or anything? I'm like, Ma, what?
Total mom move.
Yeah, I'm like, nah, I'm just walking my dog. She was like,
do you have pepper spray?
I was like, nah, I'm just walking my dog. But then now that, like, more realistic, all jokes aside, like, I started to think about that a little bit more because I'm like, wait a minute, what if a coyote just randomly tries to run up? Like, because it's not sometimes I've seen it on the thing as like one, I've seen it as pack. Mm-hmm. Like I don't know, but I personally never seen it, and my country ass, like, I'm not really worried about coyotes running up on me sort of thing. But
no, because you've seen fucked up animals.
Yeah. Again, keeping it rolling on like the weird shit. This girl told me that hawks are basically right. Hawks are swooping down and taking small dogs.
Okay, yeah, but like then Captain's fine, bro.
No. I'm not worried about my dog, but I'm saying, like, do you see like how ridiculous that sounds?
Well, it's like
hawks.
Well, you see these bitches walking around with fucking dogs in their bags.
Fam, you think hawks are? Have you ever heard of some bullshit like that, Lenny? Hawks are really swooping down out of air, talons out, and taking Pomeranians? Shut the fuck up.
No, that's a real thing though. Bro, I am telling you, that's really... You don't know that that's how hawks are out there killing shit? How do you think hawks eat? I mean, they don't normally go after dogs, but, like, that dog looks like a fucking little marsupial, dude. I'm coming after it.
No.
Yeah.
No. No, I'm just not rolling. I'm just not rolling at all.
So does this bitch have, like, a little teacup dog? Is she worried about it?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, stop buying teacup dogs.
I don't believe it.
Like, I joke about Bailey getting picked up by hawks, and I'm like, there's no chance. Like,
listen, one story doesn't make it a habit.
Yeah.
One story doesn't make it like...
It's happened.
It's it's happened, but one or two outliers don't mean like Hawks is out here preying on Pomeranians and poodles. Like, get the fuck out of here. The fuck?
Dude, so I remember this is probably last year.
Hawks lives matter.
I was walking Bailey that nighttime, same as you, right?
Yeah.
I'm walking down like residential streets, like around the corner from my house, and I get to a spot and I look, and this little tiny fucking pup walks out in the middle of the street. It's a little coyote pup.
Oh,
just one, and this thing's like small as fuck, like it's young.
Teacup.
It's young,
Teacup.
and this motherfucker, I stop for a second because I'm with Bailey. I stop, I grab her. I'm like, all right, let's see what, because like, I assume if there's one that small, there's got to be more nearby. Mm-hmm. So I stop and I'm like, let's see if there's more. They're just going to pass through. This dog, it's like, we're at a crossing of streets. So we're like right at the point where they cross and there's like street lights over it. This dog just sits in the middle of the street, just sits down and just is staring.
Yeah, so
and
what's up?
And I'm like, all right, baby.
We're going to go the other way?
No, I went for it. So I walk, and I'm just like, all right, like, let's just get past it. Like, we'll be cool. So we walk by. He just looking. Never like moves. Doesn't make any aggressive moves. He's just curious. It was the craziest fucking thing. The whole time I'm like, where's this fucking mother at?
He thought you was pussy.
No, I definitely wasn't because I walked right fucking.
No,
by
that's
his
what
ass.
I know. Good job. That's why it was a check. It was a gut check.
It was like, honestly, it was a cute little fucking dog. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Wanted it?
It was like he was just chilling.
Yeah.
I don't know if he had like ran away from his mom for the night or some shit like that, and he was just kind of like, I'm seeing what's what. He didn't know to be like an aggressive dickhead yet.
Yeah,
he was still in that mode of like, I think he just wanted to play with Bailey. Maybe.
Yeah. Look where we've gotten to. Look where Good Taste Weekly has fucking gotten to.
I'll find a way, bro. Yeah. So yeah, like that was my run-in with a coyote. But yeah. Like nothing would probably be scarier though. Like, and I, you have a dog, bro. Like, like just imagine. Like, I was just terrified because if I was out there walking Bailey and I turned around and I saw like a mother fucking coyote and it feels like it's like. As dog owners, you're forced to these things. If another dog came after you, after Captain, bro, like,
man,
it's like dead ass scary because you're like, first of all, I would never want anything to happen to my dog to the point where I'm gonna have to try and get involved. Yeah, and that just means that my ass is gonna get torn up. Yeah, because like
I can't let y'all fuck up my dog.
It might even be the coyote. Fucking Bailey might catch me. Bro, like, because they're just trying to protect themselves. So it's like, that's the scariest shit. And that's the stuff where you see, like, when, like, pit bulls and stuff like that get off their leash and they go attack things. It's like, that's the scariest shit in the world. Seeing two dogs, like, going at it is fucking scary, bro.
Yeah. For that fact, like, I still don't walk with the stick. But now, like you said, I walk with one headphone in so I can kind of just be a little bit more aware of my surroundings. It's
because, like, realistically, I don't know. So you listen when you walk at night? Do you listen to music most of the time?
Yeah.
So I'm more of a, if I'm walking at nighttime, generally I'm more gonna listen to, like, when I walk in general, I don't really listen to music. I most of the time, like, if I'm at the gym or I'm doing something active like that, I listen to music. But if I'm just walking, like Bailey, I'm normally listening to a podcast. Yeah. Or a YouTube video or something like that. I'm
usually like a 3 or 4 mile walker with us, like around our neighborhood though. So I mean, like
Bailey ain't making that far.
So I mean, like, I need something, and it varies. Sometimes if I'm not caught up on my podcast, but I'd say it's about a 90-10 sort of thing. Like, I'm listening to music most of the time.
I mean, I guess you can vibe to music anytime. I just don't know if I like vibe to it the same way when I'm walking like that. Like I said, like when I'm riding my bike or something.
I mean, there's a mood for any sort of music.
Sure, you can find something.
For sure.
No, I get you.
For sure.
And like, I guess you can kind of like sit there and like, you can actually, when you're walking at nighttime, you can be a little bit more active with the way you're listening to.
Bro, ain't nobody out there. I'm bopping.
You're like hitting them with the like.
Yeah, my shoulders is moving a little bit. You might get a little millie from me. Like,
exactly.
Yeah, and I live in a residential, well-lit neighborhood. Like, fam, I'm not worried about no shit like that. Like I said, I think it's because I have never even seen one like even roaming. Like, I've seen a coyote before, but I've never seen one even roaming.
They're not as big as you'd expect them to be.
Yeah, they little motherfucking things. Yeah, I'm gonna beat this.
They travel in packs.
Coyotes is here. Run up on my fucking dog if you want to. I'm gonna fuck y'all up. All right.
I'm gonna find a stick. I might not have one, but I'll
stop
find
trying me, coyotes. Run up on my dog if you want to. Everybody know Captain is the love of my life. Run up on my fucking dog if you want, I'm gonna beat your ass.
Yeah, it's the scary. That's the scariest shit in the world.
No, we're not playing that.
All right, so we got 10 minutes left.
10 minutes.
Let me hit you with one last thing that I read. Okay,
Ready, brother.
This is completely different than animals, and I hope I didn't talk to you about this yet because this is one of the most interesting things that I had read in the past couple weeks.
Yep.
Abu Dhabi. Okay.
Okay.
Rich people's amusement park.
Yeah.
Right. So Abu Dhabi's been dealing with heat waves for the past like month or two.
Okay.
They're like 130 degrees.
Okay.
Like that hot, right?
Okay.
No rain. They invested money, like $30 or $40 million into drones that can make it rain.
Like.
Exactly. No. So what they do,
Like,
these drones go up to the clouds. Yeah, no, they just drop money on bitches.
Have you, Lenny? I swear I know we got 10 minutes, so this is a really, really good question. Yeah. Have you been hearing about what the bitches are doing and going to Abu Dhabi and letting happen to them?
No,
like getting shitted on and peed on.
Oh my god! I mean, that happens in Germany for years, right?
For sure, but now it's in Abu Dhabi with rich people, young Bales,
all right,
of course. But so you didn't hear about that. No, but okay, cool.
No, I digress.
Yes, yeah. I digress, but it's still relevant. I'm not digressing really.
So basically, what these drones actually do, they go up into the sky.
Yep.
They send electric shocks into the clouds and make it fucking rain, like legitimately rain, to the point
precipitate.
Where, yes, to the point where they successfully did it, and the problem with it is, you can't just make it stop. Like, they know how to start it, but they don't know how to stop it. So they caused like some flooding there and shit because it started raining to the point where they couldn't keep up with it. But how fucking crazy is it now that we're at this point with technology where you can legitimately start to like play God a little bit, right?
Well, you know, the conspiracy theorists have been saying that rain is some bullshit for a while.
Yeah. You know? I mean, this kind of like, I don't necessarily think that. Like, it's just,
Lenny, they lied to us about UFOs for how many years?
Okay, you say that, but bro, I think they might be lying to us about them now.
You think?
Bro, like every single week there's some UFO in the fucking sky, and I just like, I don't buy it, man.
Listen, that's a whole nother podcast for you and I.
Yeah, but because like I don't know, I'm not like a big conspiracy theory guy.
Neither am I. But I will listen to a theory.
Okay,
I'll listen to it. I'll give you that much sort of rope.
So
to tell me why I should even pay attention to this shit.
How do you feel about the fact that you can start controlling the weather? I'll start there because I have a couple other opinions on it. But
how do I feel about that I can start controlling the weather?
Well, that people in general will be able to control the weather.
I think at base level, the conspiracy theorists, you make them look good because they've been saying this for a while that this is some bullshit. And then secondly, it shows how far we have come technologically.
I think I can see the positives, right? So I think about
what's the positives?
I think about California. I think about Australia a year ago, right? These forest fires that are just fucking insane, right? That like are killing people, taking people's houses away. Yeah. Did you see the dude the couple who started the forest fire in California from the they did the, what is that shit where they tell you the gender reveal? They did a gender reveal with fireworks or whatever, and they ended up starting a huge fire and burning down a bunch of woods. They got charged with murder because one of the firefighters or some shit died. Yeah. Right?
Rightfully so.
They're getting charged with murder.
Rightfully
so. I'm fine with that. But like, think about how instead
fucking
of
fireworks in a forest?
Yeah. Like in a place that doesn't get rain. Yeah. Like so think about the fact that they have to bring these planes overhead to drop all this water. But instead you could just send drones up, shock the clouds, create natural rainfall, and put out fires, right? I see huge benefits in that. Where I get conspiracy theory on it and the negative that I see is like when I watch, like I've grown up on movies, right? Think about the supervillain who takes control of the fucking weather, bro. Think about if you can start controlling the weather. You can start making it snow wherever the fuck you want to, freeze the water, like, you know, whatever it is. Imagine if you stimulate the clouds during the winter in New England. And think about what you do to the commute and all this stuff. You start freezing the roads because of rain during, like, it's just all these ramifications.
Gridlock.
Yeah, it was just like chaos, just crashing.
That's
like,
a fire name for the movie too.
Gridlock. Okay,
Ooh.
We'll write that shit. Nobody take that. Yeah, I just
intellectual property, bitch.
I think this is like binding, right?
Yeah.
Just hanging on a podcast. But I just think about that, and it does worry me a little bit that like it's that line. No one man should have all that power. Like imagine like our last president was still in charge, and you gave him the power to control the weather. You know what I mean? Like you let that type of power get into the wrong fucking hands. And I also think this is the same shit I've been saying about the ocean on this thing for a few weeks now, right? The motherfuckers are coming back for us, bro. So you don't we don't create rain and take shit like that and not have some other thing come back at us. Like I just am a believer that like cause and reaction and all that stuff.
Yeah.
I'm not a religious man, so I don't think like God's gonna smite you because you controlled the weather or some shit like that. But I do think like nature takes its course, and if you start fucking around with the rain, it's gonna do something else to us.
Yeah, I mean, Abu Dhabi is where it is for a reason.
World's deepest pool. Did you see that shit? They have a pool that's like 220 feet deep.
Is it a pool? Why is it a pool?
So it's a pool. It looks like a regular pool when you're on the edge of it.
Yeah.
There's a big opening in the bottom of it. And it goes deeper and deeper. And they have like they have an arcade under there. They have like all these like you can swim through it and it looks like a city almost. I saw a video. Will Smith went on vacation there and he swam down through it. Because they use Will Smith to sell all their shit, you know what I mean? Like the skydiving and all that stuff. They use him to sell all of it.
Yeah.
I think that's some whatever that shit Tom Cruise has been in. The Illuminati, no.
God.
Scientology. Like I think that's some Scientology shit. But like
Will Smith's in Scientology?
I feel like he is, yeah.
No.
Yeah, I think he is.
No.
Yeah, this motherfucker.
Stop trying to take a black man down.
No, it's not me trying to take a black man down. That's Scientology trying to take a black man down.
Stop it.
But like that's nuts too. Like Abu Dhabi, like I said, it's just it's a rich person's amusement park.
Right.
It's one big country. But yeah, I just think
where women are getting shit and peed on.
Not their women, some women. Like the ones they probably fly in. Yeah, and bro, honestly, respect to those women because if these dudes are probably not paying little amounts of money. Like they're probably paying a fair amount. Like,
what's a fair amount for you to get shit and peed on? What's the dollar amount?
All right, well, so put this in perspective.
This is the end of the podcast, y'all. What's the dollar amount?
So, like, put this in perspective, right? There's a car. I don't know the car. I don't know shit about cars, but I know there's a car that's on like the 700th floor of one of those fucking massive, skyscrapers they have there. That is like the most rare car in the world. Is worth like millions and millions of dollars that they don't even drive. It's just in a loft somewhere at the top of a building. So that's the type of money these motherfuckers have. So what's the cost for me to get shitted on?
And peed on.
Which one's easier? I think the pee's easier.
Both. Bro, I'm cool. It's a both.
I'm cool.
It's a package deal.
Oh, where are they pissing on me? Like on my face?
Bro, it don't matter where they peeing on you.
Well, if they just peeing on my chest, it's a little bit different.
No, the fuck it's not.
Oh, it is. That is totally different. You pissing in my face and shitting in my face, or am I getting just like
Fam,
on
wherever they want. That's the question.
Well,
wherever they want to pee.
Okay, I put one caveat. My face is off limits.
You can't shit on my face.
Then, like neck up.
You can't shit on my face.
You can't do that.
What, they can't pee on your face either?
No.
Can they pee on the back of your head?
Maybe.
They can pee on the back. Son.
How many million?
Oh, you at an M?
What are you at?
I'm asking what you at. You at an M?
What are you at? Thousands?
Dog, don't talk to me. I'm asking. I asked you. What are you at? What's your number?
I mean, a few mil gotta happen. Like, the thing is, I have to see the number in front of me to decide it. Like, I can't just create a number. You know what I mean? Like, if somebody wrote on paper, like, I will pay you $3 million to piss on the back of your head, I'd be like, I mean, I can shower afterwards.
Target on me.
Yeah, just not my face, bro. I can't be looking up at a dick that's gonna piss at me. Piss on me. You know what I mean? Like that's
Why
totally.
You close your eyes, son?
No, I'm not closing my eyes. Don't piss on my face.
You gotta look at the.
I'm not looking.
Yo, you are a sick man. You're a sick man, bro.
All right, bro. We're getting the fuck out of here.
Listen, dog.
Lenny
never gave a number. Let that be known, fam.
Yeah, but so I gave some caveats.
Put your bids in.
Yeah.
Shit on
all right, bro. This has been the longest podcast we've ever recorded. It's been a fucking blast, bro.
I love it, man. Thank you for having me.
No, thank you for stopping in. I am sorry, everybody, that it's been a couple weeks. You know, we've been really consistent on this shit, but stuff does happen. Thank you for sticking around, as always. I'm Lenny. He's D. D, where can they find you at?
You can find me on Instagram, d.austin_. Follow me. Twitter, offset_Austin. Let's communicate, man. Let's link.
For sure. If you like the energy we had, go back and check out 321 Spoiler, Kings of Summer.
Yep.
You've probably never seen the movie before. It's fucking great. Check that out. We had a great time talking about it. That's with Matt on here too. The chemistry was unfucking real. Until next time, guys, I appreciate it. You can find us at Good Taste Live on Twitter, at For Those With Good Taste on Instagram. We're on fucking Spotify, Google, YouTube.
Hit us in the chat, y'all.
Everywhere. Hit us up in the chat. Drop a like. Hit the notification bell, the whole fucking 9. And until next time, we love you.
On the gang.
Peace.
For those with good taste.